House chat. What's bracking? Stream has officially started. Let's fix some things real quick. Output 2K back to 4K. Fly settings 2K back to 4K. How's everyone doing today? I hope everyone's doing really good. I hope everyone's having a good time. Good night. Oh, brother. Let's hop right into some of this shit that I'm seeing. So much of this, it's so short. No, I want to see it, but like, give me the longer shit. Whatever, fuck it. Let's start with this.
The president's push to move on is not dissipating drama around the DOJ files of the notorious sex offender
No, of course
Jeffrey
it's not.
Epstein.
No, your
including
dude is best
top
friends
House
with him.
Democrat Hakeem Jeffries.
What a joke,
What
bro.
are
What
they
a fucking
hiding
joke.
from the American people? Release the files.
While House Speaker
Here, I
Mike
know what we
Johnson
can do. I
today
know what we can do.
stressed Republican unity.
Oh my God.
There is no daylight between the House Republicans, the House, and the President on maximum transparency.
We can do, we'll open it in private tab. That way it's just fresh. Oh my God, what the fuck? News, here we go. Here we go, perfect. National. So sure. Here we go, perfect.
I burned 15 inches off my waist in 3 weeks with this pink salt hack that went
Oh, shut
viral
the
on
fuck
TikTok with 21
up.
million views.
Scam alert.
Will the release of grand jury testimony on Jeffrey Epstein
right.
be enough? Well, we asked Congressman Tim
Let's see
Burchett,
here.
co-sponsor of the Epstein Files Transparency Act. Beto O'Rourke nearly beat
What a
Republican
joke.
Ted Cruz for the U.S. Senate in 2018. Democrats have gotten smoked in Texas since.
Yep.
O'Rourke joins us to
Accurate.
examine why. On the surface, the White House and Israel appear tightly aligned, but a crack's forming over the war in Gaza
What a
and
joke.
Israel's moves in Syria.
Dude. Okay, alright. Alright, CBS. Got a good couple headlines for us. Let's see what you got.
Hello, everyone. I'm Major Garrett in Washington. Welcome to The Takeout. This daily version of The Takeout is still young, not
Okay.
even 2 months old. It is, for you and me, a work in progress, a journalistic hybrid, a streaming television show with all of its timing constraints, and a podcast with longer form interviews that dig a bit deeper. Loyal viewers of this show know I usually begin. So tonight we have a newsmaker on the push for more transparency. in the
Yes,
Jeffrey
can we
Epstein
fucking
matter,
get some
whether
truth
that's
and not
entirely
lies to
possible
us,
and
bro?
what risks to the victims might be involved.
Risk to the victims. There's no risk to the victims. How stupid do you have to be? It's clear and plain as day the way it's written that none of the CP, none of the fucking evil shit, the videos would be released. We want to know the clientele information. We want to know who the fuck is on that goddamn list. And it's a fucking joke that it keeps getting treated like it's nothing when it's not nothing. Both fucking on the Biden administration and on the Trump administration alike. It's an absolute fucking joke to pretend like either side really wants to release this information because both sides are incriminated by it. Both sides are heavily incriminated by the information that is on this clientele list, and we'll never ever realistically speaking ever get to see the list because of this fact. And it's a joke. It's a fucking joke that nobody can see this, both on the left and right alike. It doesn't matter who you talk to. They're so engrossed up their own ass with their own fucking side dick riding them so hard that no one can ever fucking see the truth that, oh, no, they don't actually care about you, man. They don't give a fuck about you. They never have. It's a fucking joke. It's a fucking joke.
Into the running legal battle between the Trump administration and Harvard. Also, there will be a conversation with a top U.S. senator about how to improve weather forecasting in the face of extreme weather events. Part of that conversation will play here, the rest on our longer form venues. Also, Beto O'Rourke, once a can't-miss darling of Democratic politics, will join me to outline his political plans in the very near future, whatever they may be, and the recent woes and possible future opportunities of Democrats in Texas. We will also assess Israel.
I don't want to hear anything if it's not a simple fact of we're fixing problems like the fact that billions of dollars in tax money is constantly stolen from the American people, social funds that are desperately needed, completely regarded, given no regard.
Catch us up on the latest in regards to the Epstein files, White House maneuvers, and a lawsuit with a very important media company.
That's right. Well, the president has essentially told the attorney general, of course, you can release or seek the release of everything that was given to the grand jury back in the day. And so the Justice Department's working on that. Questions were asked here today about whether he wants everything released. And the White House said, look, the
what a fucking
has told the
joke.
Justice Department and the
Of course,
FBI
everything needs to be released. Not everything, of course. The victims. Okay, it's clear as day that, of course, the victims' stuff like personal videos and pictures, anything that directly relates to the victims, would not be released. It's obvious. We don't want that shit. What we want is the people who committed these crimes, who hurt these children and these innocent people. We want their names. We want them exposed. Why do we never, ever get this shit that we deserve? The American people deserve to know who the evil people on this list are, who associated with this monster of a human being doing these disgusting things. But no, both left and right alike, both Democrats and Republicans refuse to act, at least on the political spectrum where you're actually up in power, refuse to acknowledge the document or do anything about it. You have some people on the left demanding for the documents released, and same thing with some people on the right. But the minute they associate with higher people and they start getting that money, they instantly drop from caring. It's as if it doesn't fucking matter, and you're a bad person if you have any interest in knowing who these freaking CP enjoyers and these monsters are. Like, how is it? Oh my god, it's a fucking joke. And luckily, some people on the right are starting to see it, where a lot of people on the left have already seen it and have known for a very long time. But let's just continue. Let's continue. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. It's infuriating.
FBI, which is notable because after more than a week of this, it seems they're finally trying to push it off to other places. You did mention that
you don't
lawsuit.
say.
He filed suit against the Wall Street Journal for a story that broke late last week regarding an alleged drawing that he did, bro. Dude, and he's over here trying to do a lawsuit, trying to act like he wasn't best friends with Epstein. Of course he was best friends with Epstein, dude. There are numerous pictures. Like, come on, hold chat. Like, let's not cap here. Let Trump with Epstein pics, dude. They weren't strangers. They weren't just like nothing to each other. They multiple times, numerous times, constantly did Trump and Epstein regard each other as very good friends, amazing people. They loved each other. It's a fucking joke. How is it not? And this guy right here is I can't remember if he's Epstein's neighbor or if he used to work for Epstein. I can't remember. But this guy right here, while Trump was talking about how bad and stupid you are if you think Epstein is a problem or that this list is important, this guy was smiling, cracking up when he literally has ties to Epstein. Like, oh my God, how fucking insane. What has our fucking world actually come to, where the political spectrum it's become this it's a fucking joke. We're being laughed at. It's like as if every American person is an actual idiot in the eyes of our leaders, of our political who are supposed to be our allies, protecting us and defending us in our country, and we get none of that. It's bullshit. Epstein is part of
it's a fucking joke, of course. It's a fucking
letters
joke.
That were given to him at the turn of the 21st century. President disputing that was real and filed suit pretty quickly thereafter. The Wall Street Journal
vowing to fight that suit. We'll see how
I don't know,
far
what do you
that
guys
one
think?
goes. What
do you guys think? Do you guys think do you guys agree that you're a bad person if you think the Epstein files are important? Do you guys what do you guys think? It's nothing, right? They're right. We're bad people for caring about these monsters who are on this list doing these awful things. Like it's a joke, right? Am I the only one? Am I the only one in the world who sees that this isn't okay? Of course not. I was just watching Moist Critical. I love Charlie, both of us, Florida boys. I was just watching Moist Critical's video about he's got a series pretty much going on so far about all the updates for the Epstein files, and it's a fucking joke. It's a fucking farce that they think that we're this stupid, and some people really are. They're rolling over and acting like that this is okay. That what's going on is completely normal. Business is, and I constantly get the same response from Republicans where it's like, well, Biden's on that list too. Like Hillary Clinton and Obama are probably on that list. And it's like, you're probably fucking right. I don't doubt that for most of the chance. But that's not what we're talking about. The current president of the United States has 36 recorded flight logs. Recorded flights on the flight logs to Epstein's Island. I think it was 36, maybe it's 26. It's a ridiculously high number. It's somewhere in that ballpark. It's way too high for him to just have gone to visit his friend. No, he was doing despicable, awful things, and yet no one wants to acknowledge that. They constantly want to shift the blame to the other side. And I don't get me wrong, the left is no fucking better, obviously. It's constantly fucking, well, the rights, this. They never focus on their own problems and the fact that every single person on the left looks at Bernie Sanders and laughs at him like he's a fucking fool. Same thing with going on right now with Zoran in New York. Like they laugh at socialists and they treat us like we're jokes, even though they're on our own side. It's because most Democrats aren't actually Democrats. They're just Republicans who pretend to be Democrats. They're capitalist shills who dick ride and suck the bags of people like Jeff Bezos, Steve Jobs, these fuckheads who hold way too much money and too much power. And they pretend to care. They pretend to be on your side, but they don't. And that's why both Republicans and Democrats alike don't like Bernie Sanders, don't like our boy up in New York right now going for mayor. Like for the love of God, we need to stop letting this happen. There's a reason both sides, Republican and Democrat alike, look to these people and laugh at these socialists because they're the ones who actually want to make change. And don't get me wrong, I don't know if Bernie Sanders is a good person in reality or if he's done disgusting, despicable stuff. A lot of people who have money and power do. I don't know. But what I do know is based off of his policies and what he speaks on, if they hold true when he's in office, we will benefit more than anyone else. And that's point blank on honest, like on just spoken politics, on what they represent, what they're going for. Like Trump speaks clearly that he's nothing but a businessman. He's a capitalist, and he wants to fucking make life worse for the everyday man. Like taxes just went up for most people and went down for the top 1%. Like
Wall Street Journal will not be part of the traveling press corps when the president heads
to
Scotland
insane.
later this week to inspect his golf courses. And to meet with the British Prime Minister, a sign that they are facing some consequences for the reporting of their colleagues, not unlike what happened to the Associated Press and other news outlets, but we'll see how much farther it goes beyond that.
Oh my God.
And
How much farther it goes beyond that? What do you mean how much farther it goes beyond that? There is a list of wealthy billionaires, trillionaires, millionaires who are monsters, evil, despicable people who have hurt innocent people. What do you mean where we go next? This is insane. What are we doing? What are we allowing as the American people to happen in our country? What happened to common American decency, to caring for your neighbor, looking out for each other, being the big brother who helps the rest of the world? It's just fake bullshit that we've like pretended we are, but in reality we've never been. I'm only 22, so I don't fucking know, man. I'm not old enough to speak. Like, but all I know for a fact is that from what I've seen my entire life, we have never been that. We are nothing but bullies and monsters, and like we allow this to go on because we're so obsessed with our own side's political standing that we can't hold our own sides accountable. We're both Republicans and Democrats alike. No one can hold their own party accountable for evil things. Like, it's insane. Both, yes, Bill Clinton, freaking Hillary Clinton, Obama, Trump, fucking Bush, all these people were without a doubt on Epstein's list. Like, what is going on?
Tendency in Washington to obsess over the politics.
Republicans and Democrats alike need to align, to stop worrying about their own labels and to worry about the fact that we're all Americans. And with the way our political leaders are treating us, we for a very long time are going to be in an awful position until it gets to the point where we do a French Revolution, or we just suffer and we go out like a dying ember. I don't see any other way in this ending, and I don't see how anyone else can see any other way in this ending. It's not. We're not looking good. By any means.
In all this, the victims matter. They're trying to get some transparency and maybe some application of justice, but nevertheless, the political component of the story still lives on. And the question persists,
yeah, of course.
How has the Epstein story affected loyalty within the MAGA base? Do we have an?
What do you mean how it's affected? For the first time in a long time, and almost probably ever, we finally have a fucking difference made. I'm actually seeing a lot of Republicans fucking standing up. MAGA supporters who are sick of this bullshit, who are finally tired, and they realize that this motherfucker does not care about us at all. Like, it's insane. Like, and then there's like the extreme MAGA supporters who completely deny that a lot of their allies, their brothers and sisters in MAGA are defecting, are upset with Trump over this shit. What? How do you not see
today
it?
That is slightly different than we might have had midweek last week.
It's clear as day.
Well, we see
it's
a
clear
little
as
bit of
day.
a split, according to the new CBS News poll. While the MAGA base is standing with the president, the broader Republican Party has some concerns. The GOP splits 50 to 40.
But what do I know? This is just the Huckleton report. Hey, if you're watching the Huckleton report, please double tap your screen. If you're watching the shorts live, leave a like now, please. If you haven't also, please hop in the chat, leave some chats, drop a sub. If you're a socialist, come out and join the Orphan Guild. We love to have fellow like-minded individuals. If you're not a socialist, if you're a Republican, if you're a Democrat, or anyone, please hit that sub button, join. We like like-minded individuals, and we like people of different mindsets too. We can't just have an echo chamber of nothing but the same people repeating the same things. We have to hear differing opinions, even if some of them can be, complete batshit psycho and insane and unhinged and evil. We still got to hear it out to a degree. So please make sure to smash that like button by double tapping your screen right now. Hit that sub button, join the Orphan Guild, and please leave some chats in chat. Hop in chat, get some hype going. Please talk about what's going on. Are you upset about this as much as I'm upset? Are you over this bullshit that is going on? Are you tired of what the American government is doing to us time and time again? The cover up of the century going on? What are you guys thinking? Please leave some chats.
With how the president is handling the Epstein case.
No one is satisfied. No one is satisfied. Even the people who pretend to be satisfied are satisfied with how Trump is handling the Epstein case. And you're fucking batshit crazy if you think anyone is satisfied. And you're lying to yourself if you pretend to be satisfied. Because you too, even if you act like you don't, you want to know who's on that list. You want to know the evil people doing these evil things. And if you don't, you yourself are honestly probably a bad person too. And I'm not afraid to say that. Fucking hit a dislike button if you don't think that's the case, bro. Fucking please do. Hit that dislike button because you're evil if you genuinely think that this is not important.
Percent of so-called MAGA Republicans, his most diehard supporters, are satisfied with how he's handling it, but 41% of those non-MAGA Republicans are satisfied. And also notable, while 36% of all respondents thinks the Epstein case matters a lot.
Wow. Okay. So let's see here. So with his diehards, his diehard, oh, MAGA, make America great again. supporters, you got 60% of people who are satisfied. That's insane. That can't be right. Right? That can't be right. But regardless, 40% dissatisfied. That is an insane disapproval rate. That is crazy. And then of his non-extremists, it damn near it doesn't damn near double. It damn near fucking 1.5s. Like, it goes from fucking 40% to damn near 60%. Like, that's almost a 20% increase instantly just from the non-extremists. Like, this is what I'm talking about. This is fucking crazy.
Just 11% of Republicans think so. 54% don't think it matters at all. But part of the reason, I think this is important, it keeps coming up. It's not because we're reporting on it necessarily, but because the president himself is the one that keeps bringing it up, whether in social media.
Literally, he just doesn't stop. He tweets. First, there is no list. There is no list. Pam Bondi officially states there's no clientele list. It does not exist. It's not a real thing. Even though we've been told time and time again. Yes, it is. Yes, it fucking is a real thing. But no, apparently it's not a real thing. It's not a fucking real thing. And then out of nowhere on Twitter, Trump, what's with my brothers and sisters in MAGA, guys? What are we doing here? What's going on? This list is written by crooked Hillary, frickin' Obama, the old leader, the old head of the FBI. Like, what? So is there a list or is there no list? Make up your fucking mind.
The release of all that information given to the grand jury. It's the president that's been driving this as a conversation starter, and as
I don't understand.
Needs to be covered further, which is why it was.
Of course, it needs to be covered further.
Push off those questions about details.
I don't understand how the outrage doesn't come through for these people. How are you not upset? And I get it, you're on public news and I'm on YouTube, so I can get upset, and you apparently can't. But this is the problem. This is how most people in reality still consume their news, especially in the older generations. And because of these people being so laid back, relaxed, and not having any fire under their ass, it's the same thing with most people. Like, put some fire and passion into the fact that this is bullshit. We are being robbed of the truth as American people. Plain and simple.
The Justice Department and the FBI, perhaps a shift in a realization they've got to get.
This is ridiculous.
If they want this issue to at least fall into the background.
Comprehensive as always. Ed O'Keefe on the North Lawn of the White
This
House.
issue will.
Thank you so very much.
This issue better not fall to the background, and you watching better not let it fall to the background. It is your duty as not just an American, if you're not even in America, it is your duty as a person to make sure that this story does not die because of the fact that all of the evil monsters who pretend to be human, who are managing to get away with this, will get away with it otherwise. If we do not keep talking about this, no one will in the future. This will just be another passing moment in time where rich people once again got away with it because they're rich and powerful. We cannot allow that to happen.
Tennessee Republican
We
Congressman
cannot.
Tim Burchett joins me
If
now.
we do,
Congressman,
we
it's
are
good to see
failing
you.
our
Thanks for
future.
joining us here on
The
the
future
Takeout.
generations, our current generations, even not just.
You are a co-sponsor of legislation called the Epstein Files Transparency Act.
Yep.
Based on
Let's see what this
happened
guy's
so
have to
far,
say. Let's see what
has
the Transparency Act has to
administration
say
met
about this, huh,
the
guys?
demands, the desires of that Transparency Act?
Well, I think it's a good start. I don't think you're ever going to get to the bottom of this thing, just like this town never gives up its
What
secrets.
do you mean? What? Oh my God. What a spit in the fucking face. Are you serious? You don't think we'll ever get to the bottom of it? You are the Transparency Act. What do you mean you don't think we'll ever get? And he says it with a smile on his face. How evil, corrupt, immoral, awful, abominable, snowman, monkey-looking ass do you have to be? Bro, I don't understand. I actually can't fathom how in your head you can say something like that with a smirk on your face. What level of evil and of uncaring do you have to be? What? We cannot. Point blank says, I don't think we're ever going to get to the bottom of it. Like, what?
Very quick, or if they do it all, like Casey.
If they do at all. For a minute, I was about to go back on my words like, oh, okay, he just said very quick. And then he follows with the or at all. Or at all. Are you serious? There should be no or at all. This is the case of the century. Hundreds of powerful, rich people doing evil things. And the leader caught and then silenced officially. Not a suicide officially, but I don't... how can you accept that as the truth? I don't know. I hear some people like, maybe he's even still alive. I don't think that's the... I know, it had to have been a kill, right? They killed him. They got rid of him because they couldn't risk it. There's no other answer in my mind. They went in there, and that minute of footage we didn't get to see is all it took. It took a minute's worth of time. Open the door, bullet in the head, done, or hung him. I don't know, man. I don't fucking know. I don't know.
Point, the Kennedy assassination.
This is ridiculous.
Lee Harvey Oswald was supposed to have made a shot that entered the front and the back of President Kennedy's body, and then they find this basically unscathed bullet on a gurney in Texas. And we're still studying that, and nobody's willing to come forward with that. So,
what do you mean? A lot of that shit was just declassified not but a year ago. We know that the CIA essentially allowed this to happen, that there was without a doubt a second shooter, and it just wasn't important because we wanted Kennedy gone. Like, what do you mean?
I mean, you know, and of course, and I get the Democrats. They went 4 years and didn't do anything about it. Dick Durbin made a big deal about it.
Of course they went 4 years without doing anything about it because they're just as incriminated. Biden administration stands just as much to lose from the Epstein files as the Trump administration does. And if you don't agree with that, you're wrong. I'm sorry, but you're brainwashed on the left side. I am a socialist. I'm damn near as liberal as you fucking get. And if you don't realize, as a fellow liberal or a fellow Democrat just in general, let alone an extremist like I am, a socialist, us communists, you have to acknowledge that our side is just as incriminated by this shit as their side is. And that's just the truth. It's what it is. Like, there is no doubt about that.
Basically, talking down to my Senator Blackburn, when she was trying to get flight logs and things like that released. And now he's claiming that he was trying to do it all along or something. I can't quite figure that out. And the only thing I can really figure out is that we need to quit pointing fingers. I realize the Democratic Party is
oh my God, we need to quit pointing fingers. And it's just continuously pointing fingers. No, we can't release the list because it's written by Crooked Hillary, and it's written by Obama, and it's written by Commie, and it's all bad. It's fake news. It's bad. It's fake news. Like, what do you mean? Your daddy, Mr. Trump, is the one pointing fingers more than anyone. And you're over here saying we need to stop pointing fingers? What do you mean?
Is not doing so well. I mean, the biggest candidate they got in the country is, people are saying he's a communist. And you say, no, wait a minute, I'm not a communist. I'm a socialist.
Oh, here it is, everybody. I was just talking about it. Just like we're always branded communists. Fucking my boy up in New York, but he can't even be president because he fucking wasn't he born in Uganda? I'm pretty sure. Hold on, let's check out. Hold on. Is it Zoran or Zoram? I forget. Yeah, here we go. Mamdani. Zoran. My bad. I was spelled without the H. Born. Yeah, Ugandan. So this means he can't even run for president. So
If that's a selling
must be
point.
referring to
And so
as if that's a selling point. Of course it's a selling point, because we're not fucking monsters. Socialism is the best choice, to be honest. It's the only thing we can fucking do that has any hope of actually supporting us as a society. The billions of dollars in tax money that is stolen from your pockets as an American every single year should make you infuriated. You as an American have every right to social services. Even if you make a decent wage, you sometimes still need help. And as a society, we are supposed to be here to help each other. If you have no family, to be able to rely on the family of America to give you the support you need to make sure your life and quality is still good, is still superb, better than the rest of the damn world. And yet, for some fucking reason, that thought process is seen as evil, as extremist. Like, you're a crazy person for wanting social services, for wanting public health care, for wanting public transit to be free. Like, why is this a crazy idea to these people, to most people? This is just common sense. We are not animals living in the wild. We are a human society. We exist. We are society. Ha ha ha. Joker. Da, da, da. We are a civilization meant to support each other. We are social animals. We're not tigers and bears and lions. Oh my. We're humans. Like, what are we doing?
everybody's just looking for cover.
Bro, I'm 7 minutes into this video, and I've been live
we
for
need
like
to
an
just
hour
get to the
already.
bottom of it. And my biggest
Like, what the fuck?
concern in this whole thing,
I'm
'cause
so
one
heated.
that- I'm heavily invested in this issue. When I was in the state legislature, I sponsored many bills castrating child molesters, going after child-born distributors. The first ICAC laws, I think, maybe in the country, some of them, internet crimes against children.
So then why doesn't this anger you? If that's the case, if you are who you claim you are, if you've done what you claim you've done, and you advocate for what you claim you advocate for, why doesn't this infuriate you more than anything? Why does this not make your blood boil and your skin turn red? I don't understand. How are you able to keep a straight face, and not only keep a straight face, but not even minutes earlier at the start of this, have a smile, chat, right there. You can see it. A smirk on his stupid fucking face. Fuck you.
Things like that.
Fuck you.
And distribution going after
Plain and
those
simple.
people. And so
Fuck
I've held the hand
you,
of people that have
bro.
been molested, and they carry a life sentence, and it's not right. And we need to send those people a message that we stand by them, and we need to send the dirtbags in this world that we need to be sending to hell, like Epstein, who I'm sure that's where he is right now. This activity is not okay, and we're not going to okay it.
Then why are we allowing the people on this list to get away with it? If that's the case, if you genuinely mean that, why are we letting this go? Why are you saying, if we ever get to the bottom of this, you should be saying, we will get to the bottom of this. We will work tirelessly day and night until this is released, until we find a way that every evil person's name is made public information while still keeping the victims' information and secrecy and privacy. Of course, absolutely course, that's what we want as decent American people. We don't want CP and victim names and identities and addresses and words and info logs and conversations released. We don't need that gobbledygook. We don't need that awful shit. No one and the people who want to see that are deranged psychopaths. We ignore them. Ignore those dum-dums. We want the names of the people responsible for this evil, these atrocities, and we deserve that.
I would warn
especially
people,
when they're rich and
Get
powerful.
all of these flight logs, and I get that, but the truth is, a lot of people on those flight logs are going to be innocent. They're not. I mean,
What do you mean? How? Yes, I understand innocent until proven guilty, but if you have more than 3 flights, at most, 3. I don't even. I feel sick to my stomach even giving that high of a number. Because honestly, if you even have more than one, I can see one time you being tricked to fly out and realizing what the fuck this is about and wanting to leave, and that one time being kind of incriminating to you and maybe making you afraid, and that's why you don't speak up. Maybe I can kind of see that, but any more than that, man. Put him on the fucking chopping block. Put him on the fucking chopping block, bro. Like this is a joke. Viva la revolution. Like, what the fuck?
They didn't have to go to the island if they flew from Florida to New York or somewhere in between on that plane. You know, that doesn't mean they're a pedophile. And you know, who knew?
This is another thing. It's not. This is another common thing that I constantly see. We don't just care about the pedophiles. They're rapists. They're monsters. It wasn't just kids brought to the island. Everyone from elderly to children were trafficked. Like there is no end to the evil that was done there. Like, this isn't just about the children. This is about the common decency, about the fact that the people who did this shit are monsters in every facet of idea of what a monster could be. That's what these people are.
Was involved with this until the news broke on him.
And honestly, even if, and it might be barbaric for me to say, but even if some of the people are innocent, you lose a couple good apples when you're making a good pie. That's all I'm saying.
So there's a lot of questions that need to be answered, and I hope that we move forward in a judicious manner. And I think the president's move with the Attorney General Bondi is the correct move, and I think it's a move in the right direction.
No, it's not. In any capacity.
The president said that those expressing opinions like you just did had fallen for the Democratic hoax and need to move on?
Not really. Look, my skin's about that thick. I've been in Congress for a long time. I got an 18-year-old daughter, dude.
Let's not act like this guy actually cares. Let's not act like this guy. He had a smirk on his face at the beginning of this conversation, pretending. Let's be real here. Nothing might even happen. Nothing might ever change. Yada 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 yada. Whatever the fuck he said, I can't remember. I don't even care to remember. He's such a piece of shit. Why are we acting like this guy? He took forever to respond to that, not because there was a gap in the him speaking through the fucking teleprompter and everything. No. There was a gap in the silence there because in his mind he just thought, I don't give a fuck. That guy pays my bills. The fuck?
I think I can handle a little criticism. But no, you know, it's the game you play up here. And honestly, the one thing Trump does is dadgum he wins. You can say what you want to about him, but you know.
Yeah. Dick Rider. I'm Dick riding. We're Dick riding. Oh, a Dick Rider for life. Oh, can we get some Dick Riders in chat? Come on, spam some Dick Riders in chat. Let's get some Dick Riders in chat. Woo! Dick Riders. D Riders, because I'm pretty sure if you write Dick in chat, you will get auto-moderated. D Riders in chat. Let's get some D Riders in chat.
Where Iran's nuclear situation, he drops a bomb, huge operation. No Americans lose their lives. The big beautiful bill. He wants to get it signed on the 4th of July. No way that's going to happen. Boom. Trump gets involved. It's there. The cryptocurrency bill, my own Senator Haggerty's involvement there. That deal was not going to happen. The president wanted it on his desk by last Friday. I'm sitting in a room with a group of very conservative Republicans, myself, Whip Emmert, Speaker Johnson. And lo and behold, the president calls and starts answering everybody's dadgum question. And guess what? They ended up passing that bill, and guess what? The president signed it on Friday. So
what a joke!
He has a strategy in this, and it's winning.
Dude, and that bill is gonna fuck so much shit up, especially with AI, bro. AI is gonna run rampantly unfucking checked for a long time, and that's gonna be a big fucking problem.
Very good job at it.
Like this is not good.
Winning, and America responds to that. And I think we're moving
in any
right
capacity.
Direction,
this is very bad.
Get all the answers? No, because in my mind, I'm thinking the Biden administration had this thing for 4 years, and if they had any.
Oh my God, yes, the Biden administration is just as guilty as your administration is. You're right. Absolutely. Release the information anyway. I want all of you guys in jail. I want all of you guys in bars. Release that shit. You all need to get locked up. I don't give a fuck. And that's the fucking problem, is it never will get released because both fucking sides are so incriminated and the independent party system is so broken in America that it's impossible for it to actually get anywhere, for someone to actually like start their own independent party and to make promise and change and let's be real here, when people like that even get to the point where they actually have enough power, head blown off the next day. Oh, what a weird fucking assassination. Kind of crazy. Moving on.
Anywhere near Donald Trump.
Like, what the fuck?
You know they would have released that stuff, but they didn't. And now we don't know what files we've got of it.
Oh, we know that if Trump was incriminated, they would release that stuff. No, they wouldn't. And why? Because Bill Clinton, Joe Biden, Trump, Bush, Reagan, all of them are generational best friends. Their families, families, every one of them. They are all friends. Behind closed doors, they are laughing at you and I, at the American people. Every single one of us. They are laughing at us. Even the most loyal and die-hard supporters on both sides who want nothing more than to dick ride them. They mock you. They laugh at you behind closed doors. You are nothing but a pawn to them. You will never mean anything or have any capacity to inflict any thought, any care, any emotion into them. They don't care about you. They will pretend to forever, until the day they die. They will constantly show you bullshit. They will show you falsehoods and fake smiles, bullshit promises. None of it means anything. Because behind closed doors, they are high-fiving, laughing at you and I, while hoarding every dollar, every penny that they can get their hands on.
Tampered with, and this town is crooked as a dog's leg.
And
brother,
that's just, it's
and
the
we
simple
need to realize
fact.
that and
It's the
just
simple fact.
Figure out what we can do with it.
You spoke eloquently a moment ago about your long involvement on this issue of those who have been victims of either sex trafficking or molestation by adults. When the Trump administration in its two-page memo said there were more than 1,000 victims, that surprised people who were...
More than 1,000 victims. That's not a number I heard. But that's not a number that shocks me. That's not a number by any means that shocks me in any capacity. 1,000 plus victims. Yeah. That shit went on for years. For 20 plus years, I would say. I don't know. I could look it up right now and I could dissuade and take from the video, but I'm not going to bother. It went on for too long. Way too long. Even a day would be too long.
Very, very familiar with this Epstein matter.
Like, this is ridiculous.
To wonder if there are not avenues of prosecution for accomplices of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, and that the evidence that the Trump administration has yet to release might lead to successful prosecution of accomplices.
No.
I'm trying to focus on the victims here. The politics are the politics.
No.
They
It'll
will
never
run
happen.
their course.
Let's see what he says.
But if these files are not released and prosecutions aren't commenced,
let's see what he says.
Are victims being mishandled by the justice system?
I think quite a lot. I think they get abused a second time, maybe not as bad as the first time. But again, I think we need to be very cautious
you
in these
sick
files
bastard.
that we do not release, because these were children at the time. Now, of course, they're adults, maybe 30s, 40s, but they still carry those scars, mostly internal.
You sick fuck.
I would dare say that I think we should err on the side of caution. And two, you're going to find out a lot of these.
He didn't answer the question. Do you think? Oh my God, he doesn't even answer the question. Oh, it hurts them a second time. What?
These people
do
not want to come forward, and they will not come forward for fear of not just retribution, but shame, and that's just a disgrace to our country.
Oh my God, that's so not true. Multiple people have spoken. Hey, this person definitely is a bad touch person. This is not, no, people are not too ashamed and too afraid to speak up. They will speak up. It's just that they keep getting dis-a-fucking-peered.
Now, we ought to embrace these people and love them because they are innocent in this thing, because some dirtbag took advantage of them. And
because some dirtbag. Do you hear that, chat? Some dirtbag. Not because these evil people, this group of monsters, some dirtbag. It was all Epstein. Every single person, they were personally diddled by Epstein himself. It was all Epstein. There's no client list. There's no one else involved. Just Epstein.
Got the mind issues and all that, and the scars these people carry. I've studied it for years. Hey, look, when I live in a very conservative area, West Knoxville in East Tennessee, and you know, dadgummit, when I proposed some of this legislation, I got calls from people in my neighborhood that I knew that had been abused. I was on several different media.
What? What does that have to do with anything? Unless you're saying they were personally abused by Epstein, which, crazy coincidence. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about. We're talking about these people. These people. Why they will never see justice for the crimes they've committed. Why? Why?
People that were interviewing me, literally after the cameras stopped rolling and then we walked away, they confided me in the fact that they'd been abused. This is an epidemic across our country, and part of it is the stigma we attach to it. And every time we try
part
to
of it is that
like
constantly
away,
white people get away with these
blame
crimes.
the victim or anything, to me, it just sends us.
They're treated like not crimes.
Further and further down a hole. And I'm not being over boisterous and being a redneck, but I think we need to arrange a meeting with these people and the devil as soon as possible, because they are on a...
You are the devil you speak of. You are him. You personify everything he stands for, you evil person.
Straight path to hell as far as I'm concerned. And I'm going to meet my...
You are as guilty as the people
Jesus
on the
had
list.
a saying about how you treat the least amongst you. And surely these little people are the least amongst us. And I honestly don't want to meet my maker one day. And he said, what did you do for the least amongst us? I want to say, well, dadgummit, I kept my word and I went after the people that went after them.
No, you didn't.
I would hope I could do that with a clear conscience.
How do you sleep at night? How do you sleep at night?
Yes.
Even
You
if that gets
sick
crossways
bastard.
with the Trump Justice Department.
I'll ultimately answer to the Lord, sir. And that's, I dare say that is going to be...
I answer to the Lord.
A lot more than
I'm joking, chat. I'm joking. I answer to the Lord, chat. God above spoke, and he made me choke on sour candy. And I speak from the Lord. What is this man on, bro? What is this crusty, dusty, boomer, busty, dumb ass motherfucker speaking about? Bro, what? Sit your Humpty Dumpty looking ass down and let someone younger and more capable handle it. Seriously, dude. Like, retire. Fucking retire. You evil, evil piece of garbage. Walking human fucking shit.
Making political points. And I get it. Look, this game, it's tough to raise money. It's even tougher for somebody like me because when I take on the machine.
Oh, it's even tougher for someone like me. I'm a straight white man and my life is so hard. I'm a straight white man and my life is so difficult. It hurts. It's so hard, chat. It's so hard being a straight white man.
But I'm not crosswise with Trump at anything on this. I think he's going about it the right way. I think these files need to be released, the ones that he's talking about. And I think that is a great start and a great sign to this country, because the Biden administration had 4 years and didn't do anything.
Congressman Tim Burchett, Tennessee. I appreciate it, sir. Thanks very much for your time.
No, I don't. Thank you for your time. Please get the fuck off my screen, you evil piece of
Thank
shit.
you, brother. It's been a pleasure. And good luck on your show. I'm digging it.
Bye.
Thank you.
Toodaloo.
Harvard argued in federal court today that the First Amendment is on the line as it fights the Trump administration in its efforts to cut $2.6
More Trump,
billion
huh? He
in
just keeps
federal
doing
funding.
stuff.
The government countered that acts of anti-Semitism on campus violated federal law. In a social media post, President Trump preemptively denounced the presiding judge, vowing an appeal if the administration loses. CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson.
I haven't been keeping up with this.
Jessica, always good to have you with us. For my audience's benefit, because they probably weren't following it as closely as you are and can't describe it as accurately and as cogently as you can, what happened in court today, and what do you make of the president preemptively denouncing the judge and what might come?
Okay, so preemptively denouncing the judge, and who's suing who?
Well, maybe I'll take the second part first, which is to say what happened in court today is that I think it was a good day for Harvard. They're making an argument here that the Trump administration has violated the Constitution, the First Amendment, by freezing their funding. And
right. I remember. Okay, I'm dumb chat. I actually have been keeping up with this slightly. Okay, so Harvard's funding has been frozen by Trump because he believes that they are anti-Trump, which they totally are because they're anti-Nazi and he's a Nazi, fascist fuck. So yeah, The
Trump administration has violated a statute, the Administrative Procedures Act, by the way they went about freezing their funding.
Yeah.
So Harvard is saying basically you're violating individual rights, the First Amendment. You're targeting us based on what we're saying or what we refuse.
Oh my God, Trump violating American Amendment rights. Oh, what a fucking shocker, Jack. Holy shit, he's back at it again. I did it again. Fucking my thumbnail is perfect. I did it again. It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be huge. The crimes I'm gonna commit are gonna be huge. They're gonna be the best crimes. I'm gonna do crimes like you've never seen before. I'm gonna take away the American people's rights, and I'm gonna do crimes that are gonna hurt you. It's gonna be huge. Absolutely huge.
And you haven't gone through the proper process to try.
You can't do that, Trump. The American people deserve better than what you're doing. No, Obama, it's going to be huge. The crimes, they're going to be big. I'm going to take away Mexican people's rights and deport them. And it's going to be supported. And it's going to look like the Holocaust. It's going to be huge.
And cut off this more than $2 billion.
Bro, Gator Traz is actually insane, though. Gator Traz is insane if you don't know about it.
Was sympathetic to Harvard's case here. So that brings us to the second part, which is what is the president doing, kind of preemptively criticizing the judge? I think the president saw what the rest of us saw, which is that this is a judge who was pretty dubious of the Trump administration's position. Very briefly, their position is that they have the power to cut this federal funding because this is just a simple contracts issue. And the Trump administration, and the Harvard, no longer has policies that are consistent with the Trump administration. So,
oh my God, you're making it about, are you serious? You're saying it's simply a contract issue and not a fact that you're trying to suppress the entire freedom of speech that Harvard has to oppose you.
I think this is the president laying the groundwork for what he thinks will be a loss in
federal
court.
There is this aura around this case that both sides would prefer to settle. But settlements don't just fall out of the sky. They arrive by some determination by one of the litigants. Do you see any
The settlement will never be reached. And the current track of things, bro, Harvard will be nuked at this point. He will just drop a fucking bunker buster and we'll just repeat what we did in Iran here in American soil. We'll drop a bunker buster on Harvard because Harvard will have been developing nuclear programs and we can't allow Harvard to have nukes. They're too dangerous, everybody. We can't let Harvard have nukes. No, we cannot.
Toward that?
Well, you know, there's nothing that motivates parties.
What is
to
happening,
settle
though?
like
This is
the eve
fucking
of trial, which
crazy.
is essentially what happened today. This was a motion for summary judgment. Meaning
How do we allow this to happen? Seriously, though, tell me in chat, please. How are we, as the American people, allowed? Are you not angry? Does this not stir you up inside and make you infuriated? Please express your anger in chat. Like, what are you guys thinking? Am I in the minority? Or like, do you guys also find this to be ridiculous, or is this just okay?
Is saying we don't need a jury. We don't need fact finders here. We can let the judge decide because the legal standard is there's no genuine dispute about the material facts. Now, because there wasn't a settlement thus far, it means I think that both sides potentially could wait until the judge rules. Harvard has said we need to hear from you by September 3rd, or else the Trump administration will argue that essentially we can't claw back this federal funding.
My God. Yeah. So they're on a ticking timer. They're on a ticking timer. They're on Harvard is literally on a ticking death timer. The bunker buster has already been dropped. It's tunneling. It's tunneling and it's tunneling and it's gonna blow up pretty fucking soon.
Neither do I. But Jessica, you always illuminate, and I appreciate it very much.
We need James Gunn's Superman to fly down into that bunker and grab that bunker buster. We need James Gunn's Superman now more than ever.
Still to come, Beto O'Rourke. Will he run for the Senate again? As Republicans prepare to redraw district lines in Texas, O'Rourke tells fellow Democrats, be ruthless.
Yes.
The president says he won on immigration and leans on that issue regularly. And yet, new CBS News polling shows declining support for the administration's aggressive deportation policies.
What a joke.
Are there genuine divisions between Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu? United on Iran for sure, but there may be new strains.
Right. First, we offer overnight boarding. Your pet will stay overnight in your sitter's home.
Okay, let's mute. Okay. All right. Real quick, let's take a quick intermission. Hey, if you haven't already, please make sure to smack that like button. If you're watching on your phone, just double tap your screen and you'll leave a like. Or you can also hit the like on the right side of your screen. Please hop in chat. It's at the very bottom of your phone. You'll click that and you can hop in chat, leave some chat messages. And if you haven't already, please make sure to smash that sub button. Up at the top right of your screen, you'll see some double dots where you can click, and you can click subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much if you haven't already done that. And if you do, it means so much to me. Let's continue with the video.
Investors see the Republican Party as the favorite to win next year's Texas Senate race. A new analysis has shifted the contest ever so slightly in the Democrats' favor. Could this inspire former Texas Congressman and presidential candidate Beto O'Rourke to announce a second Senate bid? We discussed that and much more.
I don't know much about this guy.
Let's talk about your future.
Let's see.
Are you gonna run for the Senate next year?
I don't know. The question I'm trying to answer is how can I be as useful and helpful as I possibly can at this moment. The country clearly has never been through anything like this.
Representative.
The center of the trouble that we face in America, we really find in Texas, where, as you know, today the governor has commenced a special session where they're planning to redraw up to 5 congressional districts to help the president maintain his purchase on power in the House of Representatives. I'm holding town hall meetings. I'm registering people to vote. I'm traveling outside of Texas to preach the gospel of Texas and try to build support.
Preach the gospel, amen.
We have back home.
Hey, can I get an amen in chat?
In a candidacy, if it means that I continue
to work as a private citizen and a volunteer, in chat, ladies and gentlemen.
If it's something else, it really doesn't matter to me. But for me, like so many Americans, my kids, they're my conscience, and they're going to ask me at some point, hey, when all this was breaking down in America, what did you do? And I want to be able to say I did everything I possibly could. And so that's my North Star right now, and it has brought me here to you today.
With all respect, that does sound in certain ways to be a cautiously political answer to a direct question.
Yeah.
How are you weighing whether or not to do this? Because it's not just a decision for you. It's a decision that has implications for those who've already announced for this race and for those who are trying to figure out whether they should wait for you. So can you offer me some clarity?
Sure.
Clarity.
Will, and I think
maybe a timeline or somehow, how are you going to weigh this?
Yeah, so the answer is honest. I don't know. The criteria that I'm thinking through
all right, buddy
Texas
boy.
is very much there. And anybody working on this
You ain't got much interesting shit to say. I'm not gonna lie here, buddy, man.
This
YouTube page. You can also listen to it on our podcast feed.
We're gonna go ahead and move on to the next story.
Their former names and logos were considered racist, but now President Trump wants the Washington football and Cleveland baseball teams to change them back.
No, are you serious? Come on. Yes, there was something inherently wrong about it, bro. The term literally is a slur. We called them that when we fucking subjugated them. Oh my god, are you fucking... Are you serious? Are you actually for fucking
this
real?
Suggestion from the White House. Next, right here on the Takeout.
Another ad. Nope, we're right back to it. Okay, good chat. We're right back to it.
Welcome back to the Takeout. Thanks for hanging out with us. Here is a look at what else we and now you are watching this evening. President Trump's media company has purchased $2 billion in Bitcoin, cementing the transition of Trump Media and Technology Group.
Are you serious? Are you fucking serious? What is Scrooge McDuck doing with his money?
From a social media entity to basically a crypto and financial services one.
I can't do Donald Duck. I was trying to say, I need Bitcoin.
Valuations now comprise 2/3 of Trump Media's liquid assets. Trump has also gained from other holdings in
what
crypto
a joke!
Among them, World Liberty Financial and the Trump meme coin, all of which
Trump. Oh right, I forgot he's got his own meme coin.
Now to the flooding tragedy in Texas.
Bro, what is Trump meme coin worth nowadays, chat?
County lowered. That's important.
Anyone know? Anyone know what Trump meme coin's worth? It's currently running for a coin.
Lowering that number from 100 now to 3. Most people now have been found safe that were once categorized as missing. And so 135 lives have been lost. In the wake of that flooding, there is now a push here in Washington, a bipartisan one, to address.
Let's take a moment. Please, silence in chat, silence in video. 135 lost lives from the floods. You all will be deeply missed, regardless of what political side of the spectrum you were on, unless you were one of the people on Epstein's list or doing the kind of shit that those people were. You will be deeply missed. Sad day. 135 lives lost. And I know it's happened for a bit now. July 4th. So the 22nd. Let's take a moment regardless. Thank you. Let's continue.
Severe weather.
I'd also like to say, while this shit was happening, their fucking governor was in Greece on vacation, and he stayed there till the day after the incident ended.
Warnings. Senator Maria Cantwell, top Democrat on the Commerce Committee,
stayed.
And Republican Ted Cruz of Texas are calling on the Trump administration.
Ted Cruz, that's the man himself, was chilling in Greece on vacation with his family. And even though he knew this was happening and he could have come back, he stayed until his vacation was done. Alpha Chad, baby.
Early warning networks. I sat down with Senator
Alpha
Cantwell
Chad.
to talk about this earlier today.
The point is we're having more extreme weather events, so we need to upgrade our technology. We need a more sophisticated forecast system so we can help get...
we need we need more money into weather. We need more money into weather. We need more money into weather. Oh. You can see how dyslexic I am in chat. You can see how fucking dyslexic I am in chat. Yeah, right here. National Weather Service recently experienced significant staffing cuts, losing 600 employees, including about 100 probationary employees. 600 total employees lost from the National Weather Service. If you notice outages on your phone, if you notice your weather app isn't accurate. Why? Because there's not enough employees to cover the entire weather of all of America any longer. Because we continuously cut more and more money to save money for billion-dollar corporations. What a fucking joke. This decision was part of a broader budget reduction under the Trump administration. Thank you very much, Daddy Trump.
People out of the way and make better.
Right, and right at the precipice of losing 135 lives. 135 lives because of a storm. And we cut budgets to the National Weather Service, causing a 600 employee loss.
There are plans to do, have those storms have less damage.
And to do that, you need equipment that's in the air. You need equipment that's on the ground.
And you need employees.
AI.
And you need employees.
Communications mechanisms.
And you need humans. Workers.
Well, I think of it kind of like a software upgrade. Our system is kind of a 1.0, and we need like a 4.0.
You can watch my full interview with Senator Cantwell on our YouTube page, and of course you can hear it on our podcast. I want to bring in our reporter panel, Congress reporter for Semaphore, Eleanor Mueller, and White House reporter for Politico, Sophia Kites. Great to have you both here. Eleanor, I'm so glad you're here because you have new reporting on Trump administration policies and the cost of housing in America. Housing is an issue we have not delved into enough to my satisfaction, but I guarantee we'll do more of that. Help us do some of that right now.
What a joke.
So housing affordability is at, near historic lows. And on top of that, we're seeing construction really slow, which is contributing to the problem. There's fewer homes being built than there have for the last couple of years. And so there's obviously less supply and prices are going up. And so that's what this analysis we covered this morning found. It was that the Trump administration's policies are contributing to bring these prices up. It's a combination of three things. One is his tariff policies, which are putting the Fed on the back foot as far as cutting interest rates, which is making
the
tariffs. It's cutting
the discord between the president and Jerome Powell.
Not to say that mockingly to her, like, oh God, chat. Spice and sour doesn't mix well. I'm having a heart attack, or I'm choking to death. I don't know what's happening. Violent pain, chat. But no, I'm not being mocking to her, because no, the tariffs are obviously a serious fucking problem. But it's just like, oh my God, it's just banger after banger, isn't it? Yes. Everything.
Absolutely. Yup.
And the other two?
One after another. We have to just keep fucking smacking it.
Affordable housing initiatives, and then these discussions of what to do with Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, the government-backed mortgage processors that process a bunch of our country's mortgages. They're taking them out
and I think for-profit healthcare just got I think it was a 20% increase to their budget over the next year, when for-profit healthcare is the most scrutinized and investigated sector of healthcare there is for corruption, for fraud. Crazy, right?
Not something that would
crazy, right?
People across the ideological spectrum agree, raise mortgage prices.
So all of those things are creating possibly an unintended sense of
this is a
freezing
joke.
Up availability both of houses being built and mortgages being accessed.
Yeah,
at affordable prices.
Absolutely, yeah. We're talking about rent. We're talking about the price to build. We're talking about the price to buy. All of these things are affected by higher interest rates and slower construction.
Of course. And if the housing market's not already as bad, if it's not bad enough as it is already, it's definitely gonna just fucking plummet from here. And it's already plummeted. It's already, dude. To get a fucking crack house nowadays costs you like $800 a month for like a fucking 1-bedroom crack apartment, bro. Like, you can't get a decent place to live with less than fucking $1,700 in every month in spare income. Like, that's ridiculous.
And that is one of the metrics upon which most Americans decide how affordable their lives are, what they pay for housing. Sophia, I'm so glad you're here because you have analysis and reporting on this lawsuit filed late last week by the president against Dow Jones, Wall Street Journal, and the like. You argue it's not your garden variety Trump hates the media, quote unquote, clash. It's different.
Yeah, it's a little bit different because this is like,
Yeah.
it's one thing to have a fight with your friend. It's another to have a fight with your family.
Right.
Yeah, like, oh my God.
And I think for a long time, the Journal was, first of all, the Trump White House has a lot of,
Yeah, suing the Wall Street Journal over something he actually did, trying to act like he didn't. Like, he just makes himself look guiltier and guiltier by the day. Like, dude, at this point, just scream, I'm on the Epstein file list. I'm on the blackmail list.
Reporters, and then, of course,
I diddled kids.
Rupert Murdoch, of course.
Allegedly.
So,
yeah.
And Trump personally got involved.
Fox is part of that.
Exactly. So this entire entity, Trump tried to get involved personally, calling the editor-in-chief of the Journal. They went out with this story anyways.
Absolute joke. Remind my audience quickly what the story is. Basically, that there's a letter from Trump and a doodle drawing to Jeffrey Epstein on his 50th birthday.
Yeah, and they have, the Journal says that it's verified the authenticity of the letter, and they've described the letter and the drawing in pretty vivid detail. And of course, that angered Trump, so the war is on. And what we have now is sort of this two-pronged effort from Trump and the White House to sort of get back at the Journal. One, you've got the lawsuit, right?
Yep.
The second piece of this is kicking out
a frivolous
the
bullshit
Journal's
lawsuit
reporter from
because
the
it's
Scotland
true.
trip,
which Ed O'Keefe mentioned at the top of our program.
Yeah. And that's big because I think, in the age of Trump, one thing that's really important to news outlets is access. Whether you like it or not, access is important. Just the ability to have access to the information.
Hey, like, what are we doing right here now, chat?
Being able to see the president in the Oval Office. And so I think something to watch out for now, even beyond the Scotland trip, is whether Trump will go beyond that to pull the Journal from being in the in-town pool. So because the Journal is a part of the Dow Jones Newswire, they're there every day that the in-town pool is there. And so if that is revoked, that would be an even greater level of retaliation against the Journal.
Just more and more stuff, just trying as hard as he can to silence them with intimidation tactics like he's the fucking mob. Like, this is a joke.
Eleanor, you also have some reporting on House
Is he our
Republicans
president or is he our
Department
mafia
to
leader?
Create a fixed policy on AI chips.
Yeah, the Commerce Department repealed the Biden administration's rule on artificial intelligence, and they have not yet replaced key parts, including parts related to chip manufacturing. And so we saw House Republicans send a letter to Secretary Lutnick saying, it's really important for us to stay competitive with.
AI is not really an important topic, in my opinion, when we got this kind of shit right here.
News polling finds support for one of President Trump's key issues, immigration/deportations. Well, those numbers are falling. We've got the next right here.
Yep. Gator tries, baby. You
How
can
Gen
buy
X are
merch.
getting their teenage bodies back. So
shut your old asses up. Okay. Back to it, chat.
Welcome back. A new CBS News poll finds support for President
Deportation.
Trump's mass deportation program is, in a word, eroding. In February, 59%
Yeah, you wouldn't
of Americans
say.
we
They're almost like
surveyed
they're
backed it.
acting
That
like
number
a
has
Gestapo.
declined by 10 points. This will not surprise you. Support among Trump's MAGA base, however, remains very strong. CBS News Executive Director of Elections and Surveys, your friend and mine, Anthony Salvanto, joins me now. Anthony, walk us through. What do we know?
How you doing, Major? Look, let me put some of that partial won't surprise you stuff underneath what you just said. Because, yeah, you do want to show this 9 in 10 Republicans who support the program and continue to.
Yep.
The movement that you described there at the top has come more from independents. And here's the why part of it. Number one is, take a look at this. People saying, now a slight majority saying, that they think the administration is trying to deport more people than they had expected it to. That's number one. And then let me show you this. It's the who they think the administration is prioritizing for deportation. Increasingly, they think the administration is not prioritizing people who are dangerous criminals. Those two things together are part of explaining that decline, even why.
Yeah, because they're not. They're targeting people at Home Depots.
Remains solid.
They're targeting people at Home Depots. They're targeting people at fucking work centers, in their homes, at immigration offices, going courthouses, going to get their green cards. Like, this is evil. What we're doing is awful, immoral, despicable.
Major.
Our surveys try to capture an evolving conversation in America about a hot topic, and immigration is undisputably a hot topic.
Mm-hmm.
How is the American conversation evolving or shifting in any way when it comes to detention facilities and how those in them are being treated by the Trump administration?
So 2 things on that. One is we also see strong Republican support, but we see a lot of opposition from independents, certainly from Democrats.
How do you sleep at night? How do you sleep at night? How do you all sleep at night?
Way the Trump administration is using detention facilities, right? So that's number one. Now that nets out to a net negative, and that's part and parcel of that decline that we mentioned earlier. The other part of this, though, I want to show you is we asked if Hispanic Americans were being subject to fewer searches than everyone else. And you see big numbers say that they're subject to more. The part of that explains this is overwhelmingly, then people think that's unfair, and we've seen some declines.
Yeah, of course that's unfair.
In support for the president,
Racial discrimination.
among Hispanic Americans, you may recall, he made gains with Hispanics during the election.
Who would think that's a bad?
So that difference there, not just part of the decline, but also a political one that we're going to have to watch, Major.
With the data and analysis, cogent as always, Anthony Salvanto, my thanks to you, sir.
Crazy.
Bibi acted like a madman. That's a quote, and that's what President Trump is reportedly saying, at least behind the scenes, about Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Why they may be growing frustrated, possibly increasingly so, with the Israeli Prime Minister. That's next here on The Ticket.
There's another fucking thing, bro. I am by no means anti-Semitic. There's no universe in which I am anti-Semitic. But in what universe? In the same capacity, in what universe do you suffer a Holocaust? And then you believe that because you essentially believe because you've suffered a Holocaust that you can't do a Holocaust? What is going on in Palestine and what is going on in Iran is awful. Absolutely awful. And we act like it's
welcome back. White House officials are reportedly,
like it's anti-Semitic to call that.
With Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu after his airstrikes on Syria. One of them told Axios he, meaning Netanyahu, quote, acted like a madman. There's also concern in the West Wing about an Israeli strike hitting the only Catholic church in Gaza. That incident prompted President Trump to call Netanyahu seeking an explanation. Staff writer for the New York Times Magazine, Ronin.
We need an explanation because the Catholic Church almost got hit, and that, as you know, is American territory.
Does not a full-blown dispute make. However, is there something going on between the Trump White House and Benjamin Netanyahu that merits closer scrutiny and that could be on the verge of a break?
I would be hesitant to declare what was declared many, many times as the coming on the brink of, very close to, an explosion of the usually good relations between them. President Trump, as we reported a few weeks ago, has turned from one side of opposing an Israeli-American strike in Iran to agree to an Israeli one and then join.
Yeah, it went from opposing to agreeing to opposing. Like flip-flop, flippity-flop, flippity-floppity-floop.
A growing, I would say, unhappiness
flippity-floppity-floop.
When Prime Minister Netanyahu is not following the strong recommendations, the ongoing strong recommendations from President Trump and his aides to finish the war. Now, there is an ongoing discussion on an intermediate deal for hostage.
I don't know. What do you guys think in chat? Do you guys think what Israel's doing is war crimes? Do you think they're doing war crimes on Palestine and on Iran? Or do you think it's all cool, it's all chill, it's good in the hood? What do you guys think? Hop in chat, please hop in chat. Let me know what you guys think. Is what Israel's doing? Is it all good in the hood, or should we stop this? What do you guys think? I want to hear what you guys think.
In exchange of 60 days ceasefire.
Chat's been so dead
in
today.
exchange of
And that's crazy
Palestinian-
because the numbers have been the live viewer count's been insane today. But the chat's been dead. I get like 2 or 3 viewers and I get them chatting like crazy. But I've been having like consistently a lot today. No one's chatting. Come on, what do you guys think of this
prisoners
bullshit?
release. The problem is not about that intermediate deal, because most of the sides, including Netanyahu, will take this. The problem is that Hamas is demanding U.S. commitment, not just for that deal, not just for 60 days ceasefire, but that this will evolve into and will not be, the ceasefire will evolve into and will not be stopped for war and will result in a total cessation of hostilities, withdrawal of the Israeli army from Gaza, release of all the hostages, and the end of this horrifying, unbelievably long and
yeah, as it should. How is that a hard ask? I really don't understand. How is that a hard ask? How is that a hard ask?
And cruel war. And this is and Israel for the time being is not agreeing to make such a commitment. Basically, Netanyahu,
they refuse.
Prime Minister Netanyahu,
they want blood. They want blood. They are out for blood.
Has not agreed to end the war in Gaza. And because of that, because of Hamas not believing that only U.S. commitment are enough, we are not just.
This video's getting really close to ending. Chat. Does anyone know a video we could put on after this one? Anyone got anything in the political spectrum that they're thinking of that I should put on?
Deal, but we are also
any side. Fox News, MSNBC, as long as it's here on YouTube.
US commitment, that the US
hop in chat. Let me know video title, and I'll look it up and I'll put that on next.
Agreement, total cessation of hostility on Netanyahu.
Ronen, how much
otherwise
have
he's gonna
the
find something
recent
else.
Civilian casualties, and I know and you know better than I do, rampant civilian casualties throughout this conflict, but casualties of starving or nearly starving Palestinians being shot by Israelis trying to obtain food. We mentioned the strike on the Catholic Church there. How much has that, if at all, created to this friction in this relationship?
God,
well,
it hurts
you
so
should
bad.
Be a much better interpreter of American politics than President Trump. But I heard that President Trump is striving to have
so
the Nobel
bad.
Prize.
It's so evil
for peace. As long as such an ongoing war with so many casualties on both sides is going on, I think President Trump is seeing his vision or his dream to get the Nobel Prize just getting further and further away. With respect to the fact that it was Prime Minister Netanyahu who just recommended him to get the prize, I'm not sure that if
what a joke.
President Trump wants to get the Nobel Prize, he would choose Prime Minister Netanyahu as his first person to recommend. But I think that it seems that the Trump administration are trying to get this conflict done and over.
I think I found our next.
And as we reported in the New York Times Magazine with my great colleagues Patrick Kingsley and Nathan Odenheimer, Benjamin Netanyahu, throughout the last almost 2 years, under or during the Biden administration and under or during...
We get it. Netanyahu is a fucking dictator, essentially. He's psychotic. He's insane. Yep. Israel is doing war crimes.
There's a lot of dental...
Baby. What's new? We've been doing this shit for a minute now. Welcome to the Daily Show.
All
right.
Me nombre Jon Stewart. We got a great show for tonight. Later on in the program, we're going to be joined by Dr. Patrick Soon-Shiong, famed cancer researcher and the owner of the Los Angeles Times.
Oh, hell yeah, the LA Times.
Los Angeles Times crossword together on the program.
Okay. I don't really give a fuck about that,
in my humble opinion, is subpar.
Yeah. Keep chatting, keep yapping,
Los Angeles Times crossword puzzle. Everyone is talking about. I'm referring, of course, to the new Devil Wears Prada movie. I mean,
what? The new Devil Wears Prada movie, apparently, guys. I wasn't expecting that.
Anne
Love the
Hathaway
original.
grew out her signature bangs for the sequel? I don't even know what I'm watching.
If you don't know the original Devil Wears Prada movie, great movie.
There was also big news in the world of late night television, and we'll get to that later. No booing, not tonight. No, we're not going to boo tonight.
No
we're
booing.
Gonna listen to the sound bites. It's almost too important to boo. All right.
Man, this episode really ain't hitting. 60 minutes.
Would you raise your hand, please? Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in the matter now pending shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, shit.
Would you please state your full name?
I'm Jeffrey Edward Epstein, and my residence address is 6100 Red Hook Boulevard in Virgin Islands.
Have you ever been convicted of a crime?
Is that Chris Hansen?
The sex crimes of millionaire financier Jeffrey Epstein are appalling.
I bet.
That I was going to be alone with him. I thought I was going to die.
More than 100 vulnerable teenagers and young women trapped in his depraved web.
Chat.
He started touching himself.
Tonight, the Epstein
Fucking
Files,
A.
the latest on who knew what in the biggest sex trafficking ring in history.
Shit, I hope I don't get in trouble for showing this.
His elite
It's on
circle
YouTube,
of
right?
The wealthy and powerful on notice.
60 minutes.
As thousands of damning
60
new
minutes.
court documents are unsealed.
They wouldn't put it
They will contain the names of people associated with Jeffrey Epstein.
Prince Andrew and the former President Bill Clinton have been named.
More are expected to come out.
In the last few weeks, they've linked Epstein to some very famous names and exposed some very sordid details.
There are videos that exist.
We've been investigating this scandal since Jeffrey Epstein's death in 2019.
This is where
Peter
Jeffrey
Parker.
Epstein
Chat, is Peter Parker on the Epstein list? What do you guys think? What do you guys think?
Served his sentence. That he can still shock is extraordinary.
No, Miles Morales! He might be on the Epstein list!
As you'll see,
He's
this
my
monster's
favorite.
tentacles continue to reach from beyond the grave.
Yeah. Because the devil don't die, bitch. What the fuck do you mean? The devil don't die.
What? Refusing to answer lawyers on the grounds he might incriminate himself, Epstein thought his own silence would protect him forever.
Nope.
With his death by suicide in 2019
By
and the
suicide,
jailing
chat.
of his former lover and right-hand woman Ghislaine Maxwell 2 years ago, Epstein's associates may well have thought the scandal was over.
Nope.
But after a decade of legal wrangling, more than 150 people have been publicly identified, linked to Epstein and his sex trafficking network.
Yep.
He was a brilliant manipulator, not just of vulnerable girls and women. He was a brilliant manipulator of powerful men.
A really heinous crime on an absolutely massive scale that was allowed to continue and continue and continue.
Yeah. Evil runs unchecked in our goddamn society.
On my own island, I can think the thoughts I want to think. I can do the work I want to do. I have freedom.
This is the only building on the island, chat. This is the only building on the whole island that leads underground. Look at the elevation. It's like a mountainous island. Like, there is an underground facility, without a doubt. No fucking shot there's not.
Jeffrey Epstein's vast wealth gave him
That
access
shit leads
to
underground.
whatever he wanted. As we now know, the globe-trotting multimillionaire created a network where young women were supplied to him wherever he went.
I realize what I am. I'm very comfortable in my own skin. What I'm really free to do is I'm free to follow my own personality.
Your own sick, fucking, psychotic idea of personality.
And with his own plane and plush properties all over the world, he felt free to abuse in the privacy of his various homes.
Yeah, he thought he could absolutely do anything he wanted, get away with anything, and he
This is
could,
New
he could.
York. This is Palm Beach. This is California. This is
Paris, this is...
It's a shocker that he actually got
wherever
caught.
Epstein was
Really
touching
is.
down. He needed to have girls on constant call. In every single state or every place that he goes to, he's already got people lined up and makers making that happen.
None of this would ever have seen the light of day if it wasn't for Virginia Giuffre. Her allegations of sexual abuse against Epstein, Maxwell, and famously Prince Andrew have fascinated and repulsed the world.
That's what sparked
In
all of it.
2015, Virginia sued Maxwell for defamation. These latest documents are, in the main, sworn statements collected for that case.
I forgot about this. Yeah, this is what sparked the whole fucking
It's hard.
dominoes.
It's really hard being back here.
We met Virginia 5 years ago when she bravely returned for the first time to the Epstein mansion in Manhattan.
Ugh.
I was abused
So
by
gothic and
people that
dude,
I can't even
like,
mention
oh my god,
here. There's
you
a lot
think
of scars.
where would a
hidden
villain
behind those
live?
walls.
And this is what you imagine, bro. Poor
It should
woman,
be
bro.
ripped down. It should be burned to the
It
ground.
should be burned to the fucking ground. It's demon territory, essentially, man. That's devil spawn land.
Some of my worst memories are from this place.
This poor woman, bro.
I continue to be shocked.
All of the poor
by
women, bro.
Just
The poor
how
boys,
awful
girls,
this story is.
men, women,
the damage
elderly.
that was done to these women is incredibly hard to even express. This has been completely life-altering for them. It's incredibly unfair that this was allowed to happen with impunity for so long.
Is it really that crazy
Lucia
though? No,
Osborne
it's
Crowley
not.
is a journalist and
we
author
allowed it.
who has long...
Right now, they're denying there is any clientele blackmail list. That doesn't exist. Or it's written by the crooked left.
uncovered
How
the
is this
Epstein
shocking?
case.
It's not.
She believes the significance
It should
of
be
the Epstein
angering.
files can't be overstated.
It should make a lot of you in chat angry.
It's really important that we understand.
It should
the
make
difference
everyone
between
watching
having
angry.
these allegations swirl around and seeing that people were willing to swear to them under penalty of perjury. It's an incredibly hard thing to do, and they were all willing to do it and to swear to the truth of it.
Lucia also had a
Crazy.
front row seat when victims testified against Epstein's co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell when she was convicted for sex trafficking in 2022.
Yep.
A lot of what Jeffrey Epstein got away with,
That
he
evil
wouldn't have been
bitch.
able to do without her,
Her,
helping
yep.
to recruit, groom,
Just as evil.
and entice underage girls.
But she
Yep.
wasn't just the organizer, was she? She was also an abuser herself.
Yes. So we also
Yep.
heard at trial from multiple victims
just as evil.
that she was in the room when the abuse was happening and that she engaged in the abuse herself.
Yep.
But the documents released by the court put the spotlight on the role played by others in Jeffrey Epstein's inner sanctum.
Uh-huh.
The most controversial revelation comes from emails sent by Sarah Ransom, who was abused and trafficked by Epstein.
Jesus.
Those emails claim she has seen video recordings made by Epstein of an unnamed friend having sex with Bill Clinton, Prince Andrew, and Richard Branson.
Yikes.
All three men vehemently refute the allegation.
Fuck.
And in the past, even Sarah
Fuck. And the Clintons got cock meat, bro. They got huge dicks.
denied the
Fuck.
existence of the tapes.
That poor girl,
But just 2 weeks
bro.
ago, she stood by her original claim in a Zoom call with Good Morning Britain.
Clintons got cock meat.
It's no secret that everything was recorded. I've also seen recordings in his office. There are videos that exist.
Yikes.
The people that know they exist, I'm sure, are very frightened of them being released.
Yeah, you wouldn't say.
Fear may also explain the resounding silence from others named in this recent mass release of documents.
So despicable.
According to thousands of pages of sworn statements by women abused by Epstein, the men now in the headlines are potential witnesses.
Yep.
They place them at the locations where the abuse commonly took place.
And yet none of them will ever
The
face
vast
fucking
majority,
justice.
including all the names that we're hearing about, the
None
most,
of them
there are
will.
no allegations of criminality. They are just listed as potential witnesses.
If these people are not being accused of any wrongdoing, why have they been named?
The question is, what they saw, who they met, what questions they asked themselves about why girls of that age would be in any of the Epstein homes. And if they didn't ask themselves questions about that, why didn't they ask themselves questions about that?
Essentially, why did you allow this evil scumbag to get away with what he was doing? And if your answer isn't, I actually didn't know, then you are just as guilty because of your silence.
The documents
like,
also
you are
shed
evil.
light on the alleged dark
Absolutely
motivation
evil.
of Epstein's sex trafficking to get dirt on some of the
Monsters.
world's most influential people.
Scum.
There is, for the first time, the idea that he was quizzing the girls he sent to famous people for details of what happened for blackmail purposes.
Oh, bro, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, he literally asked the victims what they experienced so he could create a more detailed blackmail list for the fucking evil people he was working with. Like, and yet none of this exists.
Always been
None of
the
this
suspicion
exists.
that this man
None of this exists.
had cameras everywhere, that he kept blackmail tapes. That was his leverage.
Guys, if you suffer from neuropathy, stop drinking cold water now. I know it sounds like an exaggeration, but this was the first.
White laws. You name it, sister. He had it. He had all of it, bro. Every drop.
So I heard about Jeffrey Epstein sort of on the social
Like, absolutely
Upper East
crazy.
Side grapevine in New York for a couple of years around the end of the 1990s and early 2000s. You know, he was a figure of mystery.
A figure of
in
mystery.
That all people really knew about him was he had kind of out of nowhere known to be unconventional. People thought he was very good looking.
Where did he his money from?
And the only thing
where did that guy come
really knew about
Who
him
is
was sort of
he?
connector
Where
to
he
the
got a lot of
outside
money? He's
world
not creepy.
was somebody I knew. It was Ghislaine Maxwell.
Ugh, yep.
With her link to English socialite Ghislaine Maxwell, Vicky Ward was the ideal journalist to profile Jeffrey Epstein. Her task in
poor
2002
girls,
was
bro. So
to
many
investigate
innocent
the
people
man
hurt.
behind the
1,000
$500
plus
million
victims, chat.
fortune.
1,000 plus.
My then boss at Vanity Fair magazine, Graydon Carter, phoned me up and said, you know, I've been hearing about this guy for years. Nobody knows who he is.
I've been hearing about it. I definitely didn't fly to his plane. I mean, to his island on his plane.
That was how
I
it
mean,
all began.
there's no island. There's no plane. I didn't
But
fly.
what started as a business story quickly turned sinister.
He liked to have parties with
Oh
young
my
women, but
God.
given that he was a very wealthy,
So sickening.
at the time, you know, good-looking bachelor in his 50s, that
Good
didn't
looking.
seem
That man is not good looking.
in itself,
That man looks like
on the
goddamn
surface,
Woody.
so peculiar. But
That man looks like
I
Woody from
met
Toy Story, bro. I swear to
this woman,
God.
Maria Farmer, and she told me that
Get
she
your
had
plastic
worked
ass looking
for
ass
Jeffrey
back on the fucking
Epstein.
toy box, bitch.
No one immediately recognized how significant Maria Farmer would become in the Epstein story. Certainly not the authorities, when in 1996 she was the very
Swear
first
to God, bro,
to
he
report
really does
Jeffrey
look just
Epstein
like
and
fucking
Ghislaine
Woody.
Maxwell
He
to
looks
the
like
FBI.
Woody. It's
Ghislaine came to
crazy.
get me one evening. Ghislaine escorts me to Jeffrey's room, and he's lying there, and he goes, "Well, here, sit down."
Bro, he really,
So right
he
next
really
to him,
does.
and then
Oh,
Ghislaine sits on the other side, and they began assaulting me. But really, while I was lying there the whole time, I'm thinking, my sister's been around these people. My sister was 16. She's been around them alone.
Maria's fears were
He really does
well-based.
kind of look like
Her
Woody,
younger
don't he?
sister Annie had also been abused by the pedophile pair.
And it was the worst thing that's
I'm
ever
sorry,
happened.
chat. I can't help
But
myself.
in a pattern that would be set in the decades ahead, Maria's complaint of sexual abuse against her and Annie to police
God
was
damn,
ignored.
bro.
They just kept it all quiet, put it in the bottom drawer. And
Yep,
they were so dismissive
silent.
that I just felt daunted and I stopped.
As if nothing happened.
For
No
more
victims.
than 25 years, Maria Farmer has been filling her canvas with the Epstein story.
Keeping everything silent.
A tale of horror that began in 1995,
So
when, as a
heartbreaking,
gifted
bro.
student at the New York Academy of Art,
So
she met
absolutely
Jeffrey Epstein
heartbreaking.
and Ghislaine Maxwell. Epstein gave her a job to buy art for his New York mansion. As well, she became an unwitting witness to a steady stream of teenagers and young women through Epstein's front door.
Ugh.
And shockingly,
So
she had
gross.
direct evidence of Maxwell scouting girls for the insatiable millionaire. What did you witness?
So several times I was in the car with her and she would ask the driver to stop the car. And she'd dash across to the school or the park or wherever she was going, and she would like write down her phone number for a child, a young girl.
Oh,
and then
my
I'd see that
God.
child at the house.
How
and she'd say
sick.
they're auditioning. You know, I found a model in the park. And I thought it was really strange because I did see a couple girls in braces, and I've never seen a model with braces.
Yeah, that's so gross.
Do you reflect on
That's
how
so
different life would be for so many women today if the FBI
So
had
vile.
investigated your complaints in 1996?
Yeah.
But nope, silence.
Yeah.
Nothing done.
I think about it all the time. I
Just
do.
silence.
And it hurts a lot. And I never had children because of it. Because I didn't feel like they would be safe.
No. Nah, bro, I feel the same fucking way. I want to have kids
It
so
would be
bad, but I'm
another 6
terrified.
years before the Farmer sisters would again
Like, fuck,
contemplate
I can't be there
speaking
24/7
openly
to keep
about
them
their
safe.
experiences with Jeffrey Epstein. When they met with journalist Vicky
Absolutely
Ward in
heartbreaking.
2002, Maria and Annie were nervous. Did it take a lot for you to convince them to open up to you, to talk on the public record?
It did. There's no question.
Like,
they
what the
were
fuck?
very afraid.
These poor innocent
of
women.
These very powerful
Children.
people. And I felt
So sick.
that at least Vanity Fair magazine was also powerful by us publishing their
But no, there's no list. There's no list of criminals that did these disgusting things to kids. It was just Epstein. He was the one and only proprietor of
allegations
these
that would
crimes.
afford
Just
them
Epstein. Oh, and of course the
protection.
girl too. Of course the girl
And
too.
So I think that we all
No one else
proceeded
though.
under that premise.
Does that make
and
you fucking sick,
unfortunately,
chat?
that
Does it make
premise
you
got
fucking sick to your
exploded,
stomach?
in
That we're
the
supposed to just
worst possible way.
pretend like
What
these
blew-
children were just by just a few people and not hundreds of evil people?
What happened?
Makes me sick, chat.
Well, what happened as this piece was going forward, and I had to finally put all the allegations, both of the business stuff, and the farmers' allegations to Jeffrey and Ghislaine. They, in their different ways, went completely berserk.
I
Yeah,
serve
you
my
wouldn't
country,
say.
and now I carry legally everywhere I
Now
go.
I carry legally.
Here's how.
I
National
touch my
concealed
PP legally everywhere I go because I'm a criminal.
Epstein
Sorry, I don't know what
was
that was about.
instantly menacing, a man prepared to bully and intimidate to save himself.
Yep.
He
Evil
treated
scum.
the entire thing as a game, a really dark, twisted game. He even said to me at the
Yeah.
beginning, okay, let's play chess. I'll be black, you be white, you get the first move. And from there,
What the
it
fuck?
descended into a sort of horrific game of cat and mouse. He would phone me every day. And then he told me that if he didn't like what I was going to write, he was going to have his witch doctor place a curse
What the
on my unborn children, and that was off the record. Then he told me he was going to sue
What
me
the
and ruin me
fuck?
personally.
Make
And I was
today
just
another
really
wonderful
frightened
secret.
of what
Yep.
this man could do.
Bandito, thank you
the
for
threats
fucking
he was
hopping
making
in
against
chat,
you were
bro.
quite
Yep, this
preposterous.
sick
You took
fucking
him
shit.
seriously,
Ain't
like
it right,
you-
right, man?
You were genuinely frightened.
Ain't it right?
Yeah, because at the
The
end of all
fucking
of this,
quote
at
from
the
the
end
man
of months
himself.
of digging, meeting the farmer sisters, there was still
It's
this
fucking
question
sickening,
mark.
man.
Who is this guy?
It's fucking sickening.
But it only got worse when Epstein made a personal visit to Vicky's boss at the time, The editor-in-chief of
and we're all supposed to just act. I'm sorry I keep going to this, but I can't get over it. We're all supposed to just fucking act like nothing has happened. Like there's not a fucking massive list of billionaires and millionaires so rich and evil, and they're just sitting there waiting for us to know who these monsters in human clothing are. But no, we will never get to see it because our political leaders keep doing this to us on both sides.
Fair.
They lie and
Epstein
connive.
got the result he demanded. Maria and Annie Farmer's allegations were cut from the story that went to print in late 2002.
Nothing.
So as the journalist who'd uncovered these allegations and convinced these sisters to go public, what was your reaction to see that your work was not in your article?
Well, I remember bursting into
I know, you're completely right, yeah. We
and saying to
most of the American people voted for this.
The
You're
person who was
completely correct.
directly my editor,
And it's sickening.
these poor women.
It's fucking
this
sickening.
is unconscionable.
Was it a reflection
And most
also of an
still
abuse
don't
of
realize
power?
what they've done.
Yes.
Some do.
Into
Some
the
do.
editor-in-chief's
Some knowledge.
office.
Some realize.
Yeah,
wasn't there to say hello.
Most
of
don't.
course. 2002 was an era in which Jeffrey Epstein
2002, year
and
before I
other
was born.
predators, Harvey Weinstein, were running the world. And
Yeah,
women everywhere
Weinstein.
weren't speaking up. And the idea that two men would have a meeting after which these allegations would get pulled. I mean, in the world we live in now, it's monstrous.
Vicky's boss, Graydon Carter, denies being influenced or intimidated by Epstein. But either way, the Vanity Fair story didn't go anywhere near exposing the depths of Epstein's depravity.
I only got the very, very, very tip of that iceberg. I didn't get to the den of iniquity.
No, you didn't get you didn't see shit, bro.
No.
You didn't know
was
fuck
really
all.
going on behind Jeffrey Epstein's closed walls in the mansion in New York and on his island and in Palm Beach.
It's fucking gross. So incredibly
around
gross,
that match, and that's where this part of the sex trafficking ring really kind of came to life.
Is no one other than Bandito mad about this?
Palm
though,
Beach,
seriously?
Florida
is
is
no
home
one
to
else
some of the
able to
wealthiest
speak up
people
and
in
say that
America.
they also think this is
An
fucking
exclusive
bullshit?
enclave for the rich
Are
and powerful,
most of us really
including
so
former
fucking
President Donald Trump?
absent-minded that we really don't see anything
Jeffrey
wrong
Epstein's
with this?
luxurious
and we'll
home
stay
here
silent about
graced
it?
the foreshore, its white walls and inscrutable exterior hiding a dark truth. A place where it's estimated
voice
more
is
than
no.
100 girls were
Not just in a
tricked
YouTube
and
chat,
abused.
but
Their
to
lives
everyone you
changed
know.
in an instant.
The more people who are
14,
talking
I
about this,
was
the
still
more
in middle
likely we are to
school.
get
I was
answers.
straight A student, never even got a B. I played the first chair trumpet. I was the captain of the cheerleading squad. And then after I met Jeffrey, I just completely quit.
Wow.
This is where you were living for a while? Yes, this is where I was
She
living when I
got
met
fucking
Jeffrey Epstein.
groomed.
Epstein was 48 when a teenage Courtney Wild entered his orbit in 2001. At the time, she was living in this trailer park,
Crazy.
one of West Palm Beach's poorest communities.
Do you believe that Jeffrey Epstein targeted areas
I know
like
it's
this?
like living there.
Yeah, definitely targeted,
I live in
children like
Hernando
myself
County.
that were vulnerable to him and his
Fucking
money.
crack central.
And we felt like we were being helped and saved by him when ultimately he was just preying on us.
As Courtney told me,
I know, right?
2019,
Like seriously, like the deep state doesn't. They don't even need to do deep state. It used to be like the hidden people in the government, right? Like there used to be the hidden deep state, like these evil people lurking in the shadows doing these bad things. They don't have to fucking lurk, dude. He's our president. He's our president out in the open, fucking chilling. Like a
her
villain.
experience started when she was brought to the millionaire by another 14-year-old.
Literally.
Much needed cash. The trap had been set.
What were you expecting to happen? Why did you think you were coming here? Well, I knew that I was coming here to give a guy a massage and to make $200. I did know that.
Oh my God.
It was never told to me that I would be molested by this man or anything like that.
Inside,
Of course it
Courtney
wasn't. Oh
very
my
soon
God. Of course you weren't
discovered
told.
The massage was cover for a terrible,
they would never-
well-rehearsed crime.
Poor girl,
We
bro.
were taken
Poor
upstairs.
woman.
It was like a circular stairwell that led to a hallway that led to his bedroom, which the massage table was in his bedroom,
Of
bathroom. You know, he asked us to get comfortable, to just, you know, take our clothes off, to be in our bra and panties.
Were you
my
abused during
God.
that session?
And so we would massage him for about 30 minutes. And then whenever he was ready, you know, rolled over and asked the person that brought me to go downstairs and wait. And once that happened, then that's
so
when
gross.
the sexual abuse happened. Yes.
You're 14 and in a completely alien
14.
situation, an incomprehensible position. How did you
So
react?
I just remember
evil.
afterwards how
So
I felt walking down the
despicable.
stairs. And I just felt so
And
dirty.
we
and
allow
so-
this man's best friend to run our country. He runs our country, and we're just okay with this.
So, like, just like a piece of me had been taken, dirty. I felt it was like my dirty little secret.
All right, this feels almost illegal to know, but our windows
Poor
were
fucking
so
girl,
old
bro.
and just desperately
Poor
needed to
fucking
be
girl.
replaced.
So despicable.
Virginia Giuffre's experience was eerily similar, except her recruiter was not a fellow teen, but the sophisticated and seemingly trustworthy Ghislaine Maxwell. Virginia was 16 and working at Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort when Maxwell spied her reading a textbook on massage.
She just seemed very nice, and she said, I've got a person that I know who's actually looking for a traveling masseuse. And if you want, I can get you an interview with him. If he likes you, we can get
So
you educated. You'll be a
fucking
real
evil,
masseuse. And you'll get to travel
dude.
and see the world. And you know, like, she made it sound like it was a dream come true.
Yep.
And it wasn't.
It was a nightmare become reality.
Within hours, Virginia was at Epstein's Florida mansion, lured there by Maxwell's promise. It ended in a devastating sexual attack.
So put it this way, we did the back of him, we did the back of Epstein, and then when he turned over, that's when I was instructed to
Yep. Yep.
to-
Yep.
that's when I was instructed, Ghislaine and Epstein.
Yeah, we'll skip that.
Epstein.
We don't need to hear that chat.
I don't mean to sound sexist in any way, shape, or form, but I expected it from a man, but I didn't expect it from a woman.
No.
And,
That's fair. That's fair in every aspect.
Yeah, I think that's what hurts the most.
This poor girl. This poor fucking girl.
Maxwell's role as Epstein's co-conspirator, for which she is now serving a
scum.
20-year jail term, is well known.
20 years?
But in truth,
That's it? That's all she got? 20 years. She didn't even get life. She didn't even get life, chat. She got 20 years. Bro, in what world? In what world is that okay?
it went well beyond Maxwell. The pair devised a scheme to feed Epstein's voracious appetite. They lured
So
poverty-stricken
evil.
girls in with cash, fanning their dreams of a better life. According to journalist Lucia
Disgusting.
Osborne Crowley, by the time the sexual abuse began, many were too invested in their promises to get out.
Yep.
This was a
So
well-oiled
desperate
machine
for money
of
and
finding
a way to
vulnerable
make your
young
life
girls
better.
who really needed someone to look after
Same
them.
reason criminals do what
and
they
then
do.
also using those
Mostly, at
girls to
least.
try and entrap younger and younger girls. And a lot of that, it seems, was developed in Florida.
Yep.
How many girls do you think you brought to Jeffrey Epstein?
At the minimum 50, but anywhere from 50 to 70 girls.
And what were their ages?
The same ages of me, 14, 15, 16. I just hold a lot of
1,000
guilt and
plus
shame for
victims,
doing
chat.
those things. And just to know
1,000
that
plus
I
victims.
had any influence on that happening to somebody else, just, you know, it's just devastating and breaks my heart.
Absolutely heartbreaking. Evil,
Epstein's vile
bro.
pyramid scheme might
Vile.
have continued unchecked, if not for the stepmother of one of his teenage victims, who
Yep.
called the Palm Beach Police Department in 2005.
It was an incident that occurred maybe like three and a half weeks ago with one of my stepdaughters. Found out that ended up being that they went to Palm Beach to a gentleman's house, and they start off by giving this gentleman a massage, and he pays them. If he likes them and he thinks that they're pretty enough, he keeps them around to do other things.
Yep.
So I wasn't quite sure if there was an investigation or if you guys had any word. Well, this is the first I'm hearing of it.
That initial
Yep.
call was so alarming, the police launched an investigation.
Gross.
And it didn't take them long to uncover the revolting scale of Epstein's network.
Did Jeff know anybody's real true age, or he didn't care?
I don't think he cared. He told me the younger the better. He asked me to take my shirt off, so I took my shirt off.
Okay, so
God.
were you in bra or were you topless?
I ended up being topless, yeah. I just started getting
Bro,
really all
okay.
excited about it, and
All right.
Victims
We can
whose
skip past
ages
that,
ranged
chat. We can skip past that.
from 13 to 16.
We don't need that.
Their accounts were shocking enough.
We don't need
But
that.
what they found in Epstein's home
Gross.
was a creepy insight into his depraved life. Dozens of nude photos, a steam room, and a massage room with sex toys.
What the fuck?
Among the damning evidence were phone message pads, clearly showing a trade in young girls, scheduling them for massage appointments.
She's 2 times 8 years old. Why are they doing it in math? They're like, what does that hide? You're saying she's 16.
And flight
Bro.
logs listing girls being transported aboard Jeffrey's private plane,
Bro.
dubbed the Lolita Express.
The Lolita.
I think it's really important to know that it is actually much, much worse than we think.
1,000 plus victims,
In
chat.
2006, much to the relief of police, this predator was finally caught, a wealth of evidence amassed against him. But his own vast wealth and his immense influence saw him escape charges that should have landed him in jail
Yep.
for life. Instead,
2006,
he served a mere
chat.
13 months when prosecutors accepted his guilty
2006,
plea
chat.
to the minor charge of soliciting a child for prostitution. But while he was technically an inmate at
Soliciting a child for prostitution doesn't equate to castration. Bro, why?
the
Despicable.
Palm Beach County Stockade,
Despicable.
he really just slept there.
Yep.
It was essentially a slap on the wrist. He got 12-hour work release from prison every single day. Other journalists have described it as he just basically had to sleep in a crappy motel for
Yep.
a bit over a year.
For many, the most outrageous part of Epstein's plea bargain was a seedy deal he struck with the Attorney General for the Southern District of Florida. It gave Epstein and any alleged co-conspirators, known or unknown, immunity from further prosecution,
Wow.
supposedly forever.
Wow,
Worse still, none
chat.
of his victims were told about the deal.
Wow,
How do you feel
chat.
about that? To be sexually abused by a man and have the government know, and then actually,
Let him off.
co-conspire with the perpetrator
Yep.
to make sure nothing happens to him is just so. It just sounds unreal.
Why do you think the government did that?
My personal opinion about that is, money, power, and I think that there was a lot of people involved in this underage minor sex ring that they were
Fucking
running.
gross.
And I think
So
everybody wanted it to go away.
So you believe that there was a conspiracy at play here?
Of course there was. Absolutely.
It really is a sordid story, everything that happened in Florida, and the fact that authorities did know, did arrest him, did charge him, and he still was able to continue.
Yep.
And according to Virginia Giuffre,
Back to business
the
like
abuse
nothing
didn't
happened.
stop with Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. She was not just their sexual plaything. She was now part of their international sex
Jesus.
trafficking ring,
Yep.
lent out to whomever they liked.
I was trafficked to other billionaires. I was trafficked to politicians, professors.
Who? Speak their names.
Even royalty.
Speak their names. Speak their names.
It
Speak their names.
was the elite of the world. It was the people who run the world. It was the most powerful people in the world.
Tell us their names. I know that she can't chat. She can't because it's legally not proven and it's defamation. I know, chat. I know, but come on, why?
Really fun.
And also, she's terrified for her life, of course, because these people are fucking
Hey, we're how
damn near
ridiculous.
human gods. Oh, it's so despicable. It's despicable. Why am I singing that? I'm so autistic. Gross.
Ghislaine was this sort of very exotic, glamorous figure who would drop in and, to be honest, name drop a lot of famous names that she'd been hanging out with. We heard about Bill Clinton and sort of all sorts of other people. And we also knew that she was very good friends with Prince Andrew.
Yep.
And that Jeffrey Epstein would sometimes have Prince Andrew to stay.
As a British expat in New York, journalist Vicky Ward moved in similar circles to socialite Ghislaine Maxwell, the daughter of disgraced mega-rich media tycoon Robert Maxwell. Following her father's suspicious death aboard his boat in 1991, Ghislaine moved to New York, where she started her relationship with the millionaire Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh my gosh.
In 2002, Vicky was assigned to write a profile of the mysterious financier for Vanity Fair magazine.
When I began reporting this piece, I actually ran
This
into
poor girl.
Ghislaine Maxwell. And I
She's
sort
still
of
alive?
said
Did she get
breezily,
assassinated?
"Oh,
I
Ghislaine,
wonder.
yes, I'm writing this story about Jeffrey and the money." And I was really taken aback when she started to cry. I'm like, why
What?
is this woman crying? This doesn't seem to make any sense. Well, I didn't know that I was, from her perspective, probably in danger of pulling back the curtain on what was an absolutely horrific criminal sexual enterprise involving both of them.
Epstein and Maxwell complemented each other perfectly. He had the money
Fucking
she was used
scum.
to. She had the contacts he wanted. The most high profile, of course, being Prince Andrew, who is famously accused of abusing the then 17-year-old Virginia Giuffre at Epstein and Maxwell's invitation.
We went to Club Tramp and he danced with me and he sweats a lot and he smells funny.
Ugh.
And then
So gross.
And then we get in the car and Ghislaine tells me in the car that I have to do what I do for Jeffrey for Prince Andrew. And that's when I learned what was going to happen.
There's a slight problem with the sweating because
It was a claim and counterclaim that turned this royal's life upside down. His ill-advised decision to appear on the BBC in 2019 left him, if not
This
sweating,
idiot.
then red-faced. His attempt to convince us he knew nothing of the teenage Virginia fell flat
So
when this photo,
bad.
taken in 2001 in Maxwell's London apartment, resurfaced.
She provided a photo of the
Yes.
two of you together.
Yes.
How do you explain that?
I can't.
What do you mean?
Because I have absolutely no memory of that photograph ever being taken.
Your friend suggested that the photo is fake.
I think it's from the investigations that we've done, you can't prove whether or not that photograph is fake.
Yeah, you can. It's real. You're
or not,
a
because
pedophile.
it is a photograph of a photograph of a photograph. So it's very difficult to be able to prove it. But I
You're
don't
an
remember that
idiot.
photograph ever being taken.
So as you know, Prince Andrew denies the allegations against him, and he says that this photo is a fake, that he was never there, and that is not his arm, and they're not his fingers.
Those are his fingers. That is Andrew. This photo has been verified as an original, and it's been since given to the FBI, and they've
Yep.
never contested that it's a fake. And I know it's real. And he needs to stop with all of these lame excuses. We're sick of hearing it.
Mm-hmm.
This is a real photo.
And that was the first time you met him?
And that's the very first time I met him. And that's right before I was abused by him.
How many times were you trafficked to him?
3 times.
Her allegations against Prince Andrew are laid bare in the newly unsealed court documents. The disgraced royal is mentioned 69 times, and not just by Virginia. Johanna Schoberg, who was 21 at the time, claims to have had her own traumatic experience with Prince Andrew. And she says she saw the prince and Virginia together at the Epstein mansion in New York.
Fucking gross.
According to British-based Australian author Lucia Osborne Crowley, her account, given under oath, is damning of the prince.
We also have an allegation from a separate victim, Johanna, who has said that she was groped by Prince Andrew. So that's incredibly significant because we have sworn testimony from a second person corroborating that he did engage in illegal acts relating to minors.
Do you expect Prince Andrew to be under further legal scrutiny?
I think that certainly Prince Andrew will be facing many, many, many more questions given what we've
Since
learned
then, he's like,
in these
fucked
new
now, I'm pretty sure. I can't
documents. And it's really important, I think, for the authorities to look at the fact that there is a second person who's alleging that he broke the law and whether they need to speak to those victims and other potential victims to see if there is anything that they can or should be charging him with.
I wonder if you have any sense now of guilt, regret, or shame about any of your behaviour and your friendship with Epstein?
As far as my association with him was concerned, it had some seriously beneficial outcomes in areas that have nothing to do with what I would describe as what we're talking about today.
Prince Andrew has since found
bullshit.
regret, but continues to deny all the allegations levelled at him. He settled with Virginia Giuffre on the eve of their civil trial in 2022, reportedly for more than $15 million.
Yeah, I'd settle too, to be honest.
In settling with her, the prince likely thought the saga was over. But the release of these latest documents once again raises questions for him and many other Epstein associates.
Those are very, very wealthy, powerful people, and so far they've escaped without many questions being asked of them.
And that needs to change. That right there needs to fucking change.
First, we offer overnight boarding. Your pet will stay overnight in your sitter's home and not only be treated like part of the family.
Billionaire financier Jeffrey Epstein has been arrested,
charged with sex trafficking involving underage girls.
He could face up to 45 years behind bars.
It was a prized
Absolutely
catch.
crazy.
In 2019, the roar around Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking ring was so loud, police were forced to act. Neatly befitting the lifestyle of a jet-setting millionaire, Epstein was nabbed on his private plane as he landed back in the US from Paris. For his most outspoken victim, Virginia Giuffre, his arrest was a gift more than 20 years in the making.
I never thought it was going to happen. I honestly
And
thought
then
he
it
was just
didn't
going to
even
continue to
stick.
get away with it over and over and
And
over
he
again,
did.
just like he proved so many times.
And he did.
So yeah, it was like Christmas in July. Big time.
Yep. And then it didn't
But
even
the
stick.
expectation that Epstein would finally face his crimes was dashed when he was found dead by suicide in his jail cell a month later.
Disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein has taken his own life.
The bombshell development raising many new questions.
With Epstein
Wasn't
dead,
suicide.
the charges against
He
him
was
were
killed.
dismissed, denying justice to his many victims. And his co-conspirator, British socialite Ghislaine Maxwell, became the most wanted woman in the world as she went on the run.
So the idea that this woman could be involved in something as depraved and horrific as this, that was mind-boggling.
Not really. Anyone can
As
be
journalist
evil.
Vicky Ward and the rest of the world watched on in fascination, Ghislaine was tracked down to a luxurious New Hampshire hideaway after eluding police for a year.
Today we announced the arrest of one of the villains in this investigation.
Hell
this
yeah.
day to me has been like one of the best days of my life. I have not stopped
She only got 20
smiling
years.
and crying.
She only got
tears.
20 years,
and
guys.
I'm elated to know that she's where she belongs.
Immediately upon
Only for
Maxwell's
20
arrest,
years.
Virginia spoke for all the victims of the sex trafficking ring.
She ruined so many lives. She belongs in jail. You want to hurt kids? That's where you go.
In 2022,
Absolutely insane.
Maxwell was convicted on 5 sex trafficking counts. The then 60-year-old sentenced to 20 years in jail. She has lodged an appeal which will be reviewed in March and continues to claim her innocence from jail, as she told her brother, Kevin Maxwell.
Everyone was always asking who is the real G, who's the real Ghislaine.
It's definitely not the person portrayed. I feel completely divorced from the person that people reference and talk about.
And so the biggest
Oh my
misconception
God.
of you.
That I'm the cruelest, meanest, horriblest person who's committed crimes.
Yeah.
You are. That's exactly who you are.
And I mean,
You described yourself
I
perfectly.
literally
Good job.
haven't seen
Very good. No more need to be said.
any details.
Shut
that
up.
are
Shut up. Shut up.
accurate.
Shut up. Shut up, you dumb bitch. Shut up. Shut up, you dumb bitch.
Lucia
Shut up.
Osborne Crowley was one of the few journalists granted access to the court to report on Maxwell's trial.
It was surprising that even at her own federal sex trafficking trial, she didn't appear to have a lot of humility and still was incredibly confident. And I certainly got the sense that she did not expect to be convicted.
And certainly no remorse.
Of course not.
Certainly no remorse.
She don't give a fuck.
Basically said that
She's
she was
evil.
sorry for the damage that Jeffrey Epstein had caused them. And that's all she said.
With
She is
Maxwell behind
evil.
bars and Epstein dead, this case appeared to be resolved. But the recent release of these court documents shows how little we still know.
There are so many names that we are left with question marks about. What was his appeal? Why did some of the most powerful men in the world flock to him? What was
For
Bill
pedophilia.
Gates doing
Pedophilia.
around
Pedophiles.
Jeffrey Epstein?
Pedophiles. 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 Pedophiles.
I'd love to hear from Bill Clinton what he
Pedophiles.
saw.
How many times
in
do I have to
Jeffrey
say
Epstein.
it? How
That would
many
be great
times
to
do
know.
I have to say it?
In all,
Pedophile.
more than 150
Pedophile.
names have been linked
Pedophile.
to the
Pedophile.
disgraced millionaire.
Pedophile.
But apart from some
Pedophile.
denials of any
Pedophile.
wrongdoing, the silence from those identified has been deafening.
Pedophile.
We've got evidence of sworn testimony where people
Not a
are naming
pedophile.
very, very powerful people who would have been in a position potentially to do something about what was going on here. And instead we had a sex trafficking ring that went on for at least 2 decades, possibly 3, with almost complete impunity. And so that's the point that I think we really all need to hold on to about scale here, is that not the splashiness of these names, but just how many there are, just how many people there are that victims
You got enough
pointed
time
to
for,
to
like,
say,
one more
this
short
person
thing,
can corroborate
chat.
my story, this person can be a witness, this person met me on the island, this person saw me. And those are very, very wealthy, powerful people. And so far they've escaped without many questions.
All right.
For the record, would you state
We
your
got enough
name
time
once
for
again
one more thing,
for
chat.
me?
Yes, Monica Simeo Lewinsky.
Monica Lewinsky.
Monica Lewinsky was patient zero 20 years before the Me Too movement.
A potentially damaging cloud.
If y'all don't know about this one, this is a
Independent
big, another big one, another big one.
Investigation
This
that
one's been
began-
settled for a bit, though. This one's been known.
And is the investigation of the Whitewater case in
Until
Arkansas.
that moment, it wasn't part of an active federal investigation.
It's not really it's not really current news, you know what I mean? Let's see what else we could do.
An official message from Medicare.
We're saving big on our
This seems
Medicare
a little
prescriptions.
more-
Maybe you
more
can
what we're
save
looking
too
for.
with Medicare's Extra Health Program.
Shut up. Old ass bitch. I don't care. Oh my god, 2 ads, unskippable. Oh, this one's skippable. It takes just a little time.
Planet America's Weekend Edition. Here in the Situation Room, I'm John Barron.
And I'm Chaz Ciadello, and we have a situation.
The White House facing more questions over the Jeffrey Epstein case.
They're engaging in a cover-up.
Donald Trump's administration is facing a full rebellion from the MAGA faithful.
Release the Epstein files, am I right?
I feel like we're at a dangerous point now.
Physically, you're gonna puke probably right now.
They're stupid people. Donald Trump accused of a cover-up over the Epstein files. Could this consume his presidency?
And Trump's done a deal to supply more weapons to Ukraine.
Yeah, it will, hopefully.
Pay for it.
If we as the American people do what we need to do, which is to make sure we speak up on this bullshit and we don't let it become silent, as long as we as the American people can do that, then yeah, we got this shit. We can get this guy out of here.
And first this week, to the closest thing President Trump has faced to a revolt from some Republicans, his new media support base, and followers on social media.
Flanders!
It's all over a widely rumoured list of high-profile clients of sex trafficker and child abuser Jeffrey Epstein.
Investigators say they found no incriminating client list of Epstein's, no credible evidence that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals, and no evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties.
Epstein died in prison awaiting trial in 2019. For years, there's been speculation that his sex crimes implicated famous friends, including Britain's Prince Andrew, former President Bill Clinton, and Donald Trump, who was a friend of Epstein's for years. But the FBI now says there is no such client list. And it also released hours of security footage from Epstein's New York prison in an attempt to quash the theory that Epstein, whose death was ruled a suicide, may have been murdered to silence him. Well, that tape hasn't helped at all because, according to the time codes, there's at least a minute missing.
Look, the video jumps just before 11:59 to midnight. There's 1 full minute missing. Attorney General Pam Bondi tried to explain the missing minute.
Every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing.
In fact, the tech journal Wired magazine says that far from this being raw footage, as the Department of Justice claimed, the metadata reveals that nearly 3 minutes of footage was cut. The Epstein case, of course, has overlapped and fed into this internet-based conspiracy theory first peddled by QAnon, that political elites are running a global cabal of pedophiles trafficking children. There are also claims that Epstein was working for a foreign intelligence agency, blackmailing people with videos of them engaged in illegal sex acts. During last year's presidential campaign, Trump said he would declassify a range of files on a range of issues, including Jeffrey Epstein, although in this Fox News interview he did qualify that. And by the way, that qualification at the end of this clip was edited out of the broadcast version of the interview.
Would you declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify JFK files?
Yeah.
Would you,
I did a lot of it.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there, because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world. But
what
I
a
think
joke.
I would, or at least
Do you think that would restore trust? Help restore trust?
Yeah, I don't know about Epstein so much as I do the others. Certainly about the way he died. It would be interesting to find out what happened there, because that was a weird situation, and the cameras didn't happen to be working, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, I'd go a long way toward that one.
So, in the rest of that, which didn't go to air after the Trump is clearly hedging, already talking about phony stuff that might be in there, sowing doubts, raising eyebrows. But what is the evidence that there is a client list? Here's what Attorney General Pam Bondi said in an interview also on Fox News back in February this year.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
So have you seen anything that you said, oh my gosh?
Not yet.
So, John Roberts specifically asked Bondi about an Epstein client list. She responded by saying it was on her desk, but then went on to talk about how she was also reviewing the files on JFK and Martin Luther King. Now, this added fuel to the client list fire, as did Trump's largest financial backer, Elon Musk, who famously spat the dummy over Trump's big, beautiful spending bill with a Twitter tirade, including this parting shot, which he has since deleted.
Time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT.
We've seen this week that Donald Trump is clearly very frustrated that at a time when he should be doing something of a victory lap over the passage of that big, beautiful domestic policy spending and tax-cutting bill and that short, sharp, if inconclusive strike against the Iranian nuclear program, reporters keep asking him and his Attorney General about Jeffrey Epstein.
Your memo and release yesterday on Jeffrey Epstein, it left some lingering mysteries. One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for an American or foreign intelligence agency. The former Labor Secretary, who was Miami U.S. Attorney Alex Acosta, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of the step?
Yeah, sure. If I
could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years.
Yes, and it was Trump that was doing a lot of the talking.
Yeah,
but now
buddy.
It's uncomfortable.
You did
for the
that
president
shit.
And his supporters, including the FBI director.
You did that
Kash
shit
Patel,
yourself. You
now
kept
say that
talking
the
about
Epstein
it. You ran with
theories
it.
Just aren't true. Never have been. Although this is what Kash Patel was claiming before he became Trump's FBI director.
You say that the FBI has Epstein's list. They're sitting on it. That doesn't seem like something you should do. You're protecting the world's foremost predator. That seems like an evil thing to do, regardless of who may be embarrassed in the release of that list. Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list.
That's loyalty, but the cracks are starting to appear. Chaz, Kash Patel's deputy at the FBI, podcaster, has
things are
reportedly
crazy,
had a big blow up
chat.
with Pam Bondi
This
over
shit is absolutely
maybe threatened to
insane,
resign.
huh?
He certainly took last Friday off work when he wasn't supposed to. Speaker Mike Johnson is now advocating for the full release of any and all files relating to Epstein. But for now, it seems that Donald Trump is digging in his heels, claiming that only bad people want to know who was complicit in Jeffrey Epstein's crimes, and he's likening it now to the FBI and special counsel
Roman
investigations into the
RC,
help
thank you for
that
coming out. Thank you for
Russia
hopping in
gave him during the
chat.
2016
You upset with this bullshit the same way we are? You tired of this goddamn bullshit? There is no client list when there clearly, for the love of God, is a client list. Is this infuriating you?
Don't forget, we went through years of the Mueller witch hunt and all of the different things.
It's bullshit, isn't it, buddy?
Dossier, which was all fake. All that information was fake. But I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring.
I don't know why.
It's sordid, but it's boring. And I don't understand why it keeps going.
Hey, if you're watching the stream and you enjoy it, please make sure to double tap the screen.
Keep something like that going. But
double tap that screen to leave a like. Please hop in the chat like our boy Roman RC is right now. And yeah, we haven't watched the Coffee Villa vids yet, but Coffee Villa. But we're gonna be later.
They're having it all right, John. They're having a rather large helping.
We're kind of just bouncing around right now between all the shit.
Of a potential special counsel compiling an independent report for the White House, although Steve Bannon's suggestion for who that special counsel should be was interesting. Matt Gaetz, I suppose, having been found to regularly pay women for sex and to party with a 17-year-old and to break Florida's statutory rape laws.
God.
Matt Gaetz is quite familiar with the other side of the issue,
gross.
John. Not sure he's the ideal choice, though. Anyway, Caroline Levitt has already ruled out that special counsel, so sorry, Matt. Regardless, the administration might want to do something. Because the polling is not good. Data for Progress, which admittedly is a left-wing polling company, asked Republicans whether they approved or disapproved of the Trump administration's handling of the Epstein issue. Amongst those who had heard a lot about the controversy, only 40% approved and 55% disapproved.
Wow.
I've never seen an issue where approval for what Trump's doing was that low amongst Republicans.
Yeah,
Having
that's
said that,
crazy.
We shouldn't assume that all Republicans are obsessing about Epstein. A lot of Republicans simply don't care.
Yeah.
A CNN poll found only 3% of Americans overall were satisfied with the amount of Epstein content that the government has shared.
No shocker there.
While 56% of Democrats and 52% of independents are dissatisfied with the amount of content shared, only 40% of Republicans are dissatisfied. Most Republicans either don't know about what's going on with Epstein or don't care.
They have
the problem
no
is
idea,
that Trump's
or they
argument,
don't
if you
give a
have
shit.
been paying attention, is impossible to take seriously. He reckons that the Epstein files
Crazy
were actually
shit, bro.
written by Obama, Hillary Clinton, James Comey, ex-CIA head John
Absolutely
Brennan, and the
unhinged.
Biden administration, even though some of those people have nothing to do with each other. And also, most of them have never even mentioned Epstein, ever. And he asks,
Fucking
why didn't these radical left
unhinged.
lunatics release the Epstein files? Which also makes no sense, because he's arguing that they made up the files and then did not release them for some reason.
No, they didn't
Just leave
release them
lying
because their
around
names
in
are also
secret.
incriminated on them.
Also, he's completely contradicting Pam Bondi, who is arguing that there are no Epstein files anywhere. Trump's saying, no, they
Yep.
exist all right, but they're all made up by Democrats.
So do
Even
they
though
exist or
until
do they
5
not
minutes
exist?
ago,
Which
Trump
is
was the one
it?
saying they should be released. No wonder this was Trump's first ever
Bullshit.
post on Truth Social to receive
Absolutely
more
bullshit.
replies than likes. His first ever ratio. That's not good.
You got
Also,
ratioed.
Trump says that the whole story is boring. You played that grab
Finally,
before,
Trump got
right?
ratioed.
So he's saying that there was a plot involving 2 ex-presidents, a former First Lady, the head of the FBI, the head of the CIA, and the entire Biden administration to frame the future president in a pedophile sex ring run by a mysterious billionaire. And the reason to not ask questions about that is because that's so boring.
Yep.
None of this makes
That's
sense.
so
But he hasn't
fucking
stopped
crazy.
there. Now he's accusing any Republicans who don't believe his obvious garbage of being past supporters. He's excommunicated them
God.
from MAGA. And he said, I don't
Oh my
want their support
God.
anymore. This is pure gaslighting about one of possibly the MAGA crowd's most intensely held beliefs.
Fucking
John, and I don't think
evil.
it's going to work. Meanwhile, the Democrats are trying to sink the boot in wherever they can, asking what Trump's got to hide. Probably my favourite Democratic reaction, though, has to be from House Rep Hank Johnson, who had to fight very hard to attract attention amongst this massive garbage pile, but he found a way to it.
Epstein died by suicide. Believe that and you must be blind. You've been telling us you released the file, but where are they?
Where are they? Oh, where are they, chat? Where are the Epstein files, chat? Where the fuck is the client list? Why haven't it been released yet? This is all a fucking bullshit.
You're in control, but do you say you will withhold the Epstein file?
These Epstein files.
Keep practicing, Hank. The question is, what happens from here? Unlike
What a
what Pam
joke,
Bondi's
though,
suggesting, there
seriously.
might be something there that could be publicly released. At least that's what Alan Dershowitz reckons, and he has literally seen a lot of the evidence. He was defending himself in court as an alleged perpetrator.
So let me tell you, I know for a fact documents are being suppressed. And they're being suppressed to protect individuals. I know the names of the individuals. I know why they're being suppressed. I know who's suppressing them. But I'm bound by confidentiality from a judge and cases, and I can't disclose what I know. But I hand to God, I know the names of people whose files are being suppressed in order to protect them. And that's wrong.
So there you go. Democratic
Fucking
House Rep
gross.
Ro Khanna tried to pass a motion in the House to force more transparency, asking why are the Epstein files still hidden? Who are the rich and powerful being protected? I'm introducing an amendment to force a vote demanding the full Epstein files be released to the public. In the end, that went nowhere because the specific amendment would have given Democrats control of the House floor. 0 Republicans were going to support that.
Yep.
But constant nuisance for Trump, Republican
Joke.
Thomas Massey has now joined the fray.
Fucking
And he
joke.
supported Ro Khanna in pushing a discharge petition to force a vote on the House floor specifically into whether they release the complete files. So it will be interesting to see what happens
Hopefully we
there,
can get
John,
that
especially
fucking
as you
going.
noted, Mike Johnson himself is on the record now supporting more transparency.
Yeah, at the end of the day, if there's
good.
an Epstein client list or not in physical form, in his handwriting, there is an Epstein list of sort. It's in Alan Dershowitz's head and Ghislaine Maxwell's head, his partner in crime, who's in prison for 20 years and sees this potentially as a way of getting out of jail early if she names names.
And then there's no list. There's got to
Evil
be some
bitch.
kind of evidence of
20 years
something
for what she
somewhere
did.
that could be released. Sure.
Certainly. And earlier today we did see something of a concession from President Trump ordering Pam Bondi to release grand jury testimony from the Epstein investigation, the sort of stuff that Dershowitz was talking about. That does still fall short of releasing all the files, but the White House has admitted to one thing, Chaz. We can confirm the president has cankles. After photos of Trump with swollen ankles and bruised hands did the rounds online this week, they have admitted that the president has circulatory issues. Nothing at all serious, they say. A lot of people Trump's age get it, the doctor says. But, of course, that won't convince anyone who wants to believe that he's at death's door with heart failure. And that's kind of how conspiracy theories get started and never, ever end.
You can't disprove a cover-up.
Exactly. You can possibly just give them a better conspiracy theory to believe, which is what Trump's trying to do at the moment. For more on all of this, I spoke to historian Matthew Dallek. He has written extensively about American political and social movements, and his most recent book is on the secretive right-wing John Birch Society. He's Professor of Political Management at George Washington University. Matt Dallek, welcome to Planet America. I wonder why it is, do you think, that of all the conspiracy theories over the years that Donald Trump has helped to fuel, that, to extend the analogy, this is the one that has caught fire and is now burning him?
It's a great question. I think a lot of it has to do with the buildup, because Trump and the FBI director, Kash Patel, and many others for years have been peddling this conspiracy theory that Epstein maintained a client list, the government had a hold of it, and on that list were liberals, Democrats, other elites, and that the government had conspired to cover it up, and they had also murdered Epstein. It wasn't a suicide. So it's a very lurid tale, but the tale, I think...
All right, chat. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you guys so much for coming out. If you've enjoyed today's content, please, if you haven't already, make sure to tap that like button. If you're watching on your phone, just double tap your screen. It'll leave a like automatically. Click those three dots up in the top right of your screen. Please click subscribe if you haven't already, and tap that notification bell as well so you're alerted every single time we upload or go live. I've been your host, the D&D Orphan, signing off to all you beautiful adventurers wandering around who happen to find us here on the channel. Signing off. I'll see you guys in the next time I stream or upload a video. If you're interested in the D&D content, make sure to check out my channel and see all the shit that I have up there. Stay safe, everybody, and don't let this shit go. Please stay upset. Have a good one, guys. Peace.